start to think, oh, that our whole closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. My love, I'm gone. I need to be strong. The darkness had tried to swallow me. Stones I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. 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 Gravity.
Said that you moved on. Where did I go wrong? I tried to make you stay, but I guess my love wasn't enough. Was it me or was it you, love? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? No sign of you at all. Just pictures on these walls, reminding me of how you threw away all that we've gone through. Was it all just a game to you? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? 'Cause it's plain in my head, every word that you said, I ain't worked it out yet. So why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? If there was any sign that our love was in decline. I would have begged you not to go. I would have given even more. My heart is breaking up inside. Can't believe our love has died. Yes, it's out of my control. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Is he really just your friend? Cause it's plain in my head, every word that you said, I ain't worked it out yet. So why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Why do you wanna?
When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like, but that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this, have a like, beat it, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like, beat it, have a like. When it hurts like this, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like. When it hurts like this, we hold each other high, but we fall 1,000 times. But I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this, have a like, beat it, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like, beat it, have a like. When it hurts like this, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like, have a like. When it hurts like this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SFR Round 5 Abu Dhabi. We are here, obviously not used to hearing my voice, but I do have TES Razy with me.
As always, I'm here for the SFR show.
Yep. Few changes we'd like to tell everybody about, but first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Prime Spike, for the sub. Thank you very much. He's put, would be rude not to return. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually 2 months subscription, so thank you for that. But yeah, so
Very well received.
there is, I don't actually know how many changes there is, but I know that obviously I used to race in the Racing Point with A. Jackson. So I'm not racing anymore. I'm now doing commentary with Swayze, as you can tell. But the driver that's replacing me is a new driver who's signed up. His name is Dylan XV. So we'll see what he can pull out tonight. But we should have a stacked grid tonight, I think, from what I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see as well new drivers and new talent finding their way into SFR.
Yeah, I mean, it's anybody who joins. Actually, wait a minute, I need to bring my voice down a wee bit because I'm a bit loud. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we can't expect every single person that joins to know the fundamentals of racing, because some people that join are literally just getting into racing, and we respect that, because I mean all of us were there at one point. We were starting out.
Yeah, yeah. We were lucky that we fell into a decent league to get our learning underway.
Exactly. We fell in a really good crowd that helped us and prosper. Well, not so much prosper, because I've never won a title before, so I mean prosper might not
I've come
be the right
close twice, 3 times.
word. Well, actually not. To be fair, we've won a constructors title before, but
We've done that. We've done
yeah.
that, but yeah,
Um,
not drivers.
no.
Come close.
But I mean, it's made us really good drivers. So I mean, it's not really much we can complain about. But I think there is quite a few new drivers on track. So we're here for round 5. Obviously, I missed round 1. I think, was it round 1 that I missed? No,
No, you missed round 2 Singapore.
round 2. That's the one. So I was here for round 1. I raced in that. I raced in round 3 and round 4. So from here on out, I'm now in the comms box with yours race, and
Man, it's a privilege as well. It's a fucking privilege, I tell you.
yeah, it is actually a privilege to be in the comms box with you, and sharing commentary.
The view you get from here, watching some of the amazing XFR action, especially the front runners. I mean, last week, some of the overtakes on display were incredible by Vapid.
Well, I mean, I've raced Vapid countless times, and I know he's quick, so it's actually going to be quite interesting, because I've been racing these guys week in, week out for the past like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and you've been commentating over them, so we're going to have 2 different perspectives, one from on track and one from watching off track, so this could be quite interesting.
But it's always interesting, I find, on the Saturday night, because you never know who's going to spring a surprise. You turn up thinking it's going to be Cam this week or Vapid, and then Constant Ryan will pump it up there.
Yep.
It's always never what you expect in this league, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's quite a few drivers that are starting to show the pace, because obviously when drivers join a new league, or if they come into a league and don't really know anyone in it, then it takes a couple of weeks for a feeling out process. So
Yeah, you've got to find your feet.
Yeah, so they can basically feel everyone out, see what the pace is like, and then start getting to grips. So, well, you never know, Prime. I always thought about that myself. I always thought, nah, I'm never going to get a podium, and I did. I actually got a podium in quite a few leagues, and it was a surprise. I mean, if you go back to season 12 with our partners F1XL, you'll see how close I came on my debut season to winning a championship. So, I mean, never count yourself out. It can happen.
Kick my ass.
Yeah, I mean, I went from commentary to racing, and I think I even surprised myself how well I was doing in that season. But that's what I'm saying. Anybody can surprise you, and it goes with any league. That just no matter who's in the league. I think, me personally, I think it varies track to track, because obviously some people are going to like tracks better than others, and some people are going to hate it. So
yeah, and that's you nail on the head there, Will, to be honest. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, take Monaco, for example. Well, we all know a particular individual that really, really likes that track. And we all know every time that track comes along that we expect that person to be right there in the top 3, if not definitely leading.
Well, we have the standings on screen.
Ooh, we do. Yes, we do.
So obviously we can see Vapid is top, minus my name's not there anymore. I did take my name out and put Dylan XV in the racing point, so we know he is in the racing point. Obviously he's going to be starting from the bottom because he didn't attend. I want to say it now as well. On behalf of me and Leclerc, we apologise to Dylan. He did put in a driver's application. I did not get a notification from Google Forums, which pissed me off a wee bit. But I mean, I eventually caught it because he was constantly putting in the race check-in that he wanted to race, and I was like, I don't know his gamer tag, so I went through the driver sign-ups and he was there. So that's hence the reason
incredible.
why. Well, hence the reason why I've given him the racing point seat so that he can actually race.
Yeah, and so just while you were filling in everyone there, I was just perusing the table, and obviously it's great news for the AlphaTauri team that Leclerc is back there this week because they are doing really well in the constructors.
We
But
have the constructors.
the thing that stands out to me right now is we're 4 races in, and I just happened to notice just before we changed that we've had a different race winner each race so far.
We have. Actually, we'll switch back and talk more about that because that's something one of the drivers brought up. There's been 4 different winners in 4 different races. So, I mean, it kind of goes to show that it's not one-sided with one driver. It's basically a mix, and there's not just one driver that's going to outpace everyone and basically take over the championship. There is quite a few drivers that can actually win races around the tracks we go to. So, I mean, it's definitely weird. You can see it there. So Leclerc's won one. Well, Vapid won the first one. Leclerc won the second one. Then it was Constant Ryan. Then Cam. And we've had quite a few drivers on the podium as well, including Sebastian, who's, to me, I think Sebastian's actually a dark horse in this because he is fast.
Yeah, and Jackson as well. Jackson,
Yeah.
Singapore. It just shows for people like Prime Spike, for instance, that anything can happen at the end under a safety car, and you can be somewhere 2 laps from the end, and then all of a sudden find yourself on a podium.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. Well, I mean, I think Andrew was trying to do me from round 1 because I finished like 5th, I think. And he obviously finished 3rd, which I was kind of watching the race and I was like, wow, okay. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think it comes down to luck of the draw and where you are on track. And obviously, if a safety car comes out and you're on the longer stint tyres, you're going to have a bit more of an advantage because everybody else in front of you is going to be pitting for the longer stint tyres. So, I mean, I think it basically comes down to strategy and comes down to basically where you are out on track and if you like the track as well. Because, I mean, Abu Dhabi, I do not like this track.
You're not the only one.
No, it's
I've
not.
got ill memories of this place. Ill memories. Like I said, you brought it up earlier on about drivers' titles, and I swear I must have bottled at least 2 drivers' titles out of the 3 that I've been up for at this track because I just hate it so much.
Well, I mean, I mean, every single track here is a bit of a hit and a miss. Because obviously, not very many people like all the tracks. I don't think I've actually came across anyone who likes all the tracks, but yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one here. But we will jump to the constructors because, as you can see, AlphaTauri have a 35-point lead at the top of the table from McLaren, and even
as I
though,
mentioned, Jamie is back as well this week. Obviously, AlphaTauri were a driver down last week, and they're still managing to hold that lead. But William, is it the McLaren and the Mercedes are literally very, very close as well. Only 10 points between them, and only another 8 back down to 4th.
Well, even though I've left Racing Point and Dylan has taken over the seat, Racing Point do get to keep the points that obviously both me and Andrew scored. Nothing will change there. It's just my championship points get basically taken off and Dylan gets put on, but that doesn't really bother me in the slightest. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Dylan gets on because I mean, he's a racer we've not seen yet. So, I mean, he was in the practice lobby, so quite a few people have seen what he's like at racing, but I mean, I've not seen him yet, so it's definitely going to be interesting.
We've learned, like I said, we've had this conversation on previous streams that new drivers turning up, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
We've seen new drivers turn up and win on their debut.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few drivers turn up and win on their debut. I mean, this is why we kind of dropped the time trials, because even though there's only one league, like one division in SFR, we did actually split it up into 2 tiers. So there was going to be a tier 1 and tier 2 driver in every single team. But then we decided there's not really any point because, I mean, when someone goes in, they may put a time in as a tier 2 driver because the way the time trials ran. And then when they get out on track, you find out they're actually a tier 1 driver, so they have to be moved up, and then we have to rearrange things. So we basically just decided we'll just do away with that and just get everybody.
Yeah, I don't think there isn't a tier system in SFR, is there?
No, not anymore. There was last season, but there's not anymore. We decided to do away with it the end of last season. I mean, it's just for convenience, because obviously it's an absolute pain. Everyone has to go in for a time trial, and then they have to get a certain time to make division tier 1 or tier 2, and then if they don't make tier 1, they drop down to tier 2. There might not be a place. They go into reserve, and then
I totally agree. I mean, the one thing I think with that system is obviously without tiers, it's pure. I'm assuming random teams that you don't get to pick your teammate. Yeah.
No,
because I think that would be the overpowered thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what happens is the teams get drawn at the start of the season on stream, live on stream, and the track draw goes first. Then it's the team draw and the driver draw. So basically, I'll draw one driver for the team, then I'll draw the next driver or the next team and the next driver, and then just keep going and then reset it and then keep going. If obviously 2 drivers turn up in the same team that are too overpowered, we can switch it to where it's going to sound bad on other people, but I mean, I'm one of the slower drivers in the league, so I can say if you say Vapid and Leclerc were in the same team and they were deemed too overpowered, they would remove Vapid, put him into someone else, in with whoever I was paired up with, and put me with Leclerc. Because it basically gives everybody else a fair chance, because obviously Vapid and Leclerc are 2 of the fastest guys in the league, so it would be kind of stupid to put them together, because that means they're just going to dominate. But Prime's actually put I should be 10th for the USA Grand Prix. Now you left, you would have been 10th even if I was there, Prime, because USA I do not get on well with. Ask anybody who's ever raced me or knows me, I hate the USA Grand Prix. That's one I despise more than any other, including Monaco. I would rather
Let's
run
talk
Monaco.
about why. Now, why do you hate that? Search your feelings, Will. Because honestly, I like that track.
I don't.
To me, it's a very. It almost reminds me of Section 1. Definitely puts me in heart of Japan.
Do you know what it is? It's not the actual track. It's parts of the track. The S section for me is really difficult. If you've not got the right setup on, then it'll mess your lap up. Only missing 3,
so we can go.
So we can go. Oh, yep. So we've got 17. Yeah. So I mean, the S section at the USA Grand Prix is it's not my finest. I mean, I like Maggots and Beckett's around Silverstone. So
Well,
yes.
Clock ticking, mate. You need to change the screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can do that right now. See? Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm actually missing something. 2 seconds, and it will be there. Add that, and
Aha.
do that. Then we can do that.
Visuals.
There we go.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I mean, the Maggots and Beckett section in Silverstone is kind of similar to the S section in USA, but I prefer Maggots and Beckett's. It's easier to run through.
It reminds me more of Japan in Sector 1, the way it swoops and swerves rather than Maggots and Beckett. I think Maggots and Beckett's is a lot wider and it gives you a lot more leeway for mistake than either USA or Japan. Those two, if you go wrong through the S section there, you're going wrong.
Yeah, and
you've got a little bit more time to react on the brakes, I think, through Maggots and Beckett's than those other 2 tracks.
I mean, if you hit the curb, it doesn't automatically spin your car. I mean, if you hit the curb in USA, it kind of sucks you into the turn. So it's.
And we know it. Definitely looking at a penalty there.
Yeah.
USA.
And Prime says as well, especially the rain. It doesn't matter what track it is. I just don't like the rain. And Swayze knows why.
I have no idea what he's talking about, honestly.
Yeah, sure you haven't. That would be when Swayze was showing his dominance in the rain.
Hey mate, I've lost that dominance in the rain. That was on a different game.
Yeah.
The physics change with games, so you know it swings and roundabouts from game to game as to whether I like the wet or not. I've never ever been afraid of the wet. What with being British, you know, it's a natural driving condition.
Well, I mean, it's basically always raining in the UK. So, but I mean, the cars are just, for me, the cars are too hard to handle when. In fact, I only run medium traction control. I'd hate to think what it's like for the guys with no traction control. That would be insane to drive in the rain with no traction control whatsoever. But in saying that, only 2 people are going to get eliminated from Q1, so but there is going to be eliminations from Q1. So
There
we'll have
is.
to see what everyone can do. Also to note as well, I forgot to mention at the start of the stream, Ikayan has been moved to the Haas on a trial.
Sorry,
I think that's,
Jamie just made me laugh in the chat.
as you can probably guess, is dry.
It's a fucking desert. I hope
Yeah.
so.
I would hope so. Yeah, so Ikayan's been moved to the Haas on account of connectivity issues, and he also didn't turn up for the last 3 races. But he's been told if his connection can be stable, he will basically get a permanent drive in the Haas. The person who's took his seat in the Renault is actually Kimi the Iceman. He has moved full time, so he's took the Renault seat full time.
Well, Dylan XV, the new driver, is the first car on track. So I'm going to go on board with him and see how he's getting on.
Look at that beautiful car. I need to check what is his number. 88. Is that 88? I think it's 88.
Well, as long as it's in 86, we're not having no issues.
Or 85, but well then it doesn't really matter because we're not racing. But I think it's 88. I'll need to ask him after the race. Yeah, it is. It's 88. I can see it on the side of his car. It's just so when I go to do the standings, I can put his number in. But you are right. He is the first person out on track, and I need to bring up the.
I've just noticed on my telemetry settings and stuff that Sebastian is out there on the medium tyre and is the only driver that currently is.
Why has he came out in Q1 on mediums? That's very, very curious. Yeah, so Dylan is about to start his lap. Let's see what the new Racing Point driver can pull off. Oh, he's actually gave us a follow on stream as well. I think that's him, Dylan VI, maybe him. But thank you to Dylan VI for the follow. Second board. I mean, he's taken.
Second one.
He's
You know
taken
this
corners,
corner
nice.
now, this hairpin. I hate this hairpin. You can lose. I swear to God, you can lose at least 2.5 tenths on that hairpin alone if you get the line wrong out the corner. Because
Yeah.
the acceleration, the drive out of it down this long straight is so important.
Well, he's taken the corners really, really, really well. So, I mean, it's not looking. Oh, he goes a little bit wide.
A little bit earlier on the power. I think he went there, but
He's
he managed
not
to
invalidated.
control it. Yeah, he didn't invalidate. He managed to get it back under control.
And he's still going. So, purple sector 2.
Well, it's obvious for the first car, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's doing quite well. He's taking the corners really, really nicely. He's taking them nice and tight over the apex, not going wide. Apart from the corner.
It looks quite. I'm not watching on the broadcast. I've been watching on the onboard, and the way the car's moving, it looks relatively smooth. I
Yeah.
mean, the way the wheels moving from side to side, I'm gonna have to go out on the limb and say he's not on a pad. Because I feel the wheel would jerk more than that if it was a pad.
A 1:36.5. That's pretty decent first lap.
That is. Who
So-
is the next car around? It is a red one. I think it's Far QJ.
Yeah, it probably
It will
is.
be Far QJ.
Let's keep an eye on it.
Followed by the Haas.
It goes faster.
35.4. I believe Ikian to come across the line now with a 37.214.
Nah.
Next, we've got the other Ferrari of Kevin Ambrose.
Let's jump on board with Kevin. He's got 2 corners left. First, takes that corner really nicely actually. And the final one doesn't hit the apex on the outside, comes across 138.6.
The car behind Tempest just behind him is just starting, not finishing.
I think Kim and the Iceman's about to come across. Yep,
looks
P2.
like Sebastian bailed out of his lap
Kim and the Iceman
and
was
has
P2.
now come back out on the soft tyres.
136.3 for the new Renault driver. Who's next? I think it will be...
He'll be Tempest. I think everyone's on either in the garage or on an in-lap, with the exception of Tempest and Sebastian,
yeah.
who is on an out-lap himself after shedding his mediums and deciding wrong tyre, wrong time.
Well, do you know what? Can't blame him. I've done it myself. I forgot we're on full qualifying, went out on the mediums and completely made an ass of myself, so I've done it before.
Tempest getting loose there through the chicane in the middle of the back straight. Same as what Dylan did earlier. Just put the throttle down, got wide on that left-hand curb on the exit, and almost went around, but collected it nice.
We have Constant Ryan saying every corner is terrible, and Leclerc saying this track is dreadful in general. I mean, it's okay sometimes. It's not the best for overtaking and stuff, but
it's definitely a track I feel that gets better the more rubber's gone down onto it.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm on board with Sebastian right now, who is on a time lap.
Tempest is invalidated, so that makes sense.
But Sebastian's teammate is in P2, so we'll see. Obviously, it doesn't matter where they finish here, apart from the top 15. So they won't get pole if they finish on pole. They'll just move to the next round or the next qualifying session.
There's still bragging rights though to be fought
Yeah.
for, isn't there? What is it called? Is it a Grand Slam? I know that's a tennis thing, but
if you get pole in all 3 qualifying, I would call it a Grand Slam because you're getting a triple, or I would probably call it a triple header because you basically.
it's pole in all, fastest lap in the win, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Grand Slam. Yep. Sebastian's doing really, really well. Really well. Taking the corners and really, really nicely, nice and smooth. Not losing the back.
I just noticed there as he went through the stadium, he's doing very nice. He's throwing the car while he's off throttle to control the weight shift, which is really nice.
And the wheel spin on the car and fastest lap.
35.02.
Yep, really nice
Great
lap
from Sebastian.
Okay, actually, seeing the times from both Renault drivers, they could be maybe formidable.
It looks like Dylan has gone back out on an out lap on the mediums. Prime Spike is out on an out lap at the moment.
Constant
I
Ryan
think Jackson is on a lap.
Constant Ryan put it gets better the less laps are left in the race.
Did they let Cam go then? I think they were letting Cam go earlier, yeah. Cam.
Tempest slots into 5th. He lost the back end on the final corner as well and almost spun it, but Kevin Ambrose comes across. Is it an improvement? I don't think it is. No, 149, no improvement. There is a Red Bull driver as well. I think that's, as you said,
Cam's going to be your next one across the line, mate.
The Mercedes driver of WR is Cam.
Yeah.
And we've got a really terrible camera angle, so apologies. There we go. That's better. Here comes Cam. He's ran out of ERS to use.
Yeah, quite early as well, before they even...
And still goes pole, or first.
34.0, it takes almost a second out of Sebastian's time.
Dylan is actually out on mediums as well.
Prime Spike is now on his lap, as is Jackson.
Who is currently in front?
Jackson, I believe, is the leader of the two, yeah.
So we'll jump on board with the Racing Point and see what kind of lap time he can put in. Leclerc agreeing with Constant Ryan. Yeah, I mean, Andrew's no slouch when it comes to driving. He,
Definitely not. I've had some amazing battles with him.
well, I mean, around Zandvoort last week, he actually gave me a run for my money, so almost went wide. He took the car out to as much as it could go out there. Runs onto the apex, comes round, and it's P4, 135.9. Oh, Tempest. Has he crashed? Oh, he's crashed going into the pits.
Oh, that is not good. But he has a time on, so if everyone else invalidates or doesn't manage to get a time, he may still get through to Q2, but he will be out though for the rest of the qualifying, won't he?
Yeah, I think when you... Oh, he's left. I think when you crash, you're out for the rest of qualifying, but I don't know why he left. Jezza just starting his lap. Kevin Ambrose has invalidated his lap. Let's have a look. So I think that is.
No, especially on a 36. You know what I mean? He's definitely got the speed.
Yeah, I mean Tempest is definitely faster than that. I had a massive battle with him around Zandvoort, and he is quick. So that's really shocking. But let's have a look. So Jezza is on a lap. So is Vapid. But Jezza is in front.
Jez is in front.
Yeah. I think Prime Spike and...
But Vapid's just purple section 1. I will tell you that, because that's who I'm watching.
I'll stay on board with Jez and see what he can do.
He is
coming through second
looking
through.
mighty at the moment, is Vapid Coot. I'll keep an eye on his ERS, see if he runs out around the same place as what Cam did.
Alright, I need to remove that because it does not work.
Almost a full lock up there.
I don't know why that doesn't work. Let's remove that as well. There we go.
Purple section 2.
Just remove the chat box, it's not working, I'll fix it for next week. But I mean, it looks like Jezza's not put in any purple sectors, but he is moving rapidly. He's on a 130 on the final corner. Is it going to be... Oof, almost loses it on the last corner. 134.9, so P2.
So fast through that right-hander was Vapid then.
Well, we'll jump aboard with Vapid Coot, the McLaren driver, and we'll see what he can...
Because I was just using all of the track from curb to curb there.
Oh, Vapid gets a bit closer and he puts in the fastest lap.
33.9.
Wow.
What? That's... There's nothing between them again.
Nope. Constant Ryan's out on track as well.
And I fully expect to see him up into that battle.
So is Blaze Envy and so is TS Leclerc. So some of the, I wouldn't say the quicker guys, but some of the more faster paced guys are now out on track from what I can see anyway. Cam's retired, he obviously feels that's enough. I definitely think that will probably be enough. But
if you feel comfortable, it's probably the better option rather than scrubbing up another set of tyres.
Yeah. It definitely is. I mean, you always want to look after your tyres going into Q2 because that's what the tyre you're going to start the race on. So obviously you want the mediums, but Leclerc's just started his lap now. I believe Constant Ryan's about to start his.
Yeah, Constant Ryan is behind Leclerc on track.
So we'll stay on board with Leclerc and Alpha Tauri and see what he can do.
Blaze Envy, I believe,
he's
in front
invalidated.
of... Oh yeah.
Leclerc sets a purple in sector 1, but then again this game likes
really tight to the apex with that hairpin there though.
Well, this game likes to deceive you and tell you it's a purple when it's not. So we'll see when he gets to the end of the lap.
This game can't do anything right. Well, you know,
but a little bit of... Wait a minute, is Leclerc running... Oh, he is, he's running no ABS
no
now.
ABS, yeah.
A little bit of a lock-up, but I mean, it's only Q1, so these tyres are not going to be used again, so that's absolutely fine. That's probably why he's left it until the 4-minute mark to set a lap time.
No, on the chicanes like that, it's always the... I was watching Bob Vapid, the inside lap, and his was doing the same thing. Always the inside tyre.
Yeah. He's definitely hoofing it, that's for sure.
Be the right one there, yeah. See.
Vapid retired, feeling like he can do enough. Leclerc is coming into the last couple of corners. He's looking really, really good. Really good. He's using all of the track as well. So, I mean, that's...
Yep, nice line through the final corner there
Yep.
for Leclerc.
And there we go, 1:33.6. Fastest lap.
What a lap. What a lap.
Yeah, Dylan's back out on track. He's only one place behind Andrew, his teammate, as Constant Ryan, 1:33.5. So this is going to be a very, very close battle.
But again, like I said, you know, it just shows each week. You think one of them's going to be at the top, and another one pops it in there.
Yep. I definitely think this is going to be a track-to-track basis. And there may even be a couple of surprises thrown in there as well. As Dylan is taking those corners aggressively. But, I mean, he's getting away with it. And I think he's actually gaining time as well. Goes a little bit wide on that one, but takes the next one really, really nice. Oh, a little bit wide. But I mean, he's invalidated this lap as well. That's really unfortunate. He was really, really running well there. He's not going to have time, I don't think, to get back in and get out. We'll have to wait and see if he does. But
now, speaking of lies in sections and stuff, he was on about it a minute ago. I'm on board with Nick Veal, and it's just told me that he's just purple section 1.
yeah, that's what I mean. It can be deceiving. Blaze Envy has invalidated the lap again, but he's going again. So a little bit wide into turn 1. I mean, you want to be hitting that apex on the inside. Oof, he just took out one of the Rolex.
Looks like Nick Veal's always is using no ABS as well. Quite a few of the drivers here in this league using few assists as possible, and that's purple in 2. It's told me he's purple in 1 and 2 now.
Yep. SC Crystal hasn't came out yet. And I don't think he's going to have time to do a...
There is a Red Bull
lap.
just leaving the pits.
Yep, it's SC Crystal. He's actually out on track. This is going to be really tight for him to get round and start a lap. But a little bit wide.
That's very wide for Nick Veal there. I'm surprised I didn't invalidate.
Yeah, me too. I think that's where Dylan got
I
invalidated.
think he's lost a bit of time in section 3. Not the cleanest section 3, but it should be up there.
P6, 1:34.9. These times are very, very close. Blaze Envy has
34.917, 34.954. Yep.
Blaze Envy has another chance to try and put a lap time in. He's running out of fuel. I don't know if he's going to make it. Oh, he's went a little bit wide as well. And again, I'm surprised that's not an invalidation.
That's an invalidation, it is.
It's not showing up on
No,
my
no,
screen.
it's Ricky. No, I was on the wrong half, my bad.
Alright.
No, there, he just did it exactly the same place.
Yeah. Oh!
Guttering for Blaze Envy. Guttering.
SC Crystal's running really wide in that Red Bull.
He's got 16 seconds
Yep, he
to
needs to
find
make a
his
move.
way around to that start-finish line.
This is going to be close. Is he going to make it? He's got 8 seconds to get round. I think he's just going to make it.
Caught that corner, gain some time free. He's done it.
Yeah,
What?
he's
2
invalidated.
seconds. No,
It's
no, it was an outlap. It was an outlap.
Yeah, I think he's invalidated his next lap because he's went off track
Oh,
too many
what,
times.
with how much he caught the corner?
Yeah. If you go off once, it invalidates the lap you're on, and then if you go off again, it invalidates the next lap. So I think he's just invalidated both laps. It
Let's
looks
go
like
in for Tempest then.
it looks like
Obviously, having
yeah, Blaze Envy and SC Crystal are going to be eliminated from Q1.
But they're going to get one of them's going to gain a playing spot though if Tempest doesn't rejoin. Sure they are.
They probably will.
I haven't seen him rejoin.
I haven't either, actually. I'm going to see about sending him an invite. Let's see if we can get him back in.
He is through to Q2, but obviously he won't be able to take part in it.
Let's
Maybe he's just disappeared for an hour and he'll be back. 'Cause he can't do anything.
I mean, it is definitely a possibility. I'll send him an invite so he actually has one sitting there. But that looks like it's going to be it for Q1. So Blaze Envy and SC Crystal are going to be eliminated from Q1. So this is where I think it's only going to be 4 drivers from Q2 because obviously Tempest has crashed early, well, about halfway through the session. but a pretty decent Q1, I would say. Especially seeing as how it's Abu Dhabi. But the drivers at the back are going to have a choice of tyres as well. Anyone out of the top 10 can choose whatever tyres they want, and that's usually what I like. But Constant Ryan is the fastest in Q1, but that, I mean, it is bragging rights as you said, Swayze, but I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. It's going to be Q3 when they start.
It all comes down to the actual race.
Yeah, it's going to be Q3 as well when they're going to start throwing the kitchen sink at each other. But
just to go back and touch on Tempest there, I feel for the guy.
Yep.
This track, Austria and Hungary have got such, the way the pit lane curves, and they put a wall right there. They're three tracks that are very prone to hitting the pit wall on the way in.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's easy to do. I've overshot it and ended up having to do another lap and then come back in after that lap because I've completely overshot the pit entry.
Singapore for me, that is. Never make the turn tight enough, go over the curb and straight back onto the track. Bollocks!
I've done it at Russia as well. That one's even worse. If you come in too quick, you just go straight over the curb and that's you're back out again. Oh, Kimmy the Iceman's left. Let's get him back in. I know that will probably be a disconnection because he is American.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in the session as well, isn't he? So I highly doubt that will be...
But no, it's probably just a disconnect. We have got activity from the Ferrari and Mercedes. Yep, so Cam and Fark, how do you say his name? Fark J?
I just say Fark QJ, because it's got QJ on the end, it's easier.
Okay, let's just call it Fark Q. So...
Fuck you!
Yeah.
You call him 001 if it makes it easier.
We can just call him the Ferrari driver.
So what are we going to call Kevin Embry?
Kevin.
The other Ferrari driver.
Yeah, so obviously Fark QJ's just let Cam go past. So, he's warming up his tyres. I'm definitely thinking most people will be out on mediums. I mean, you'll probably find most people will start on the softs because it's probably going to take softs to get into the top 10. Into the top 10 because from 11th to 14th they'll be eliminated from Q2.
Yeah.
So quite a few drivers.
Ryan's being a funny boy.
With what?
Put your tyre selection on. Or have you? Look at what tyre Ryan sat on.
Yeah, he's on full wets. That's not a good idea, Ryan. But Cam is about to start. Just went downstairs and saw my cat licking the toaster. Ooh. Okay.
Ryan.
Okay, no, that was the Ryan, that was Jamie. Okay.
No, yeah, but Ryan put in the comment, it's a bit overcast because the commentator, he's got to enter that though.
We have got Cam on a lap. I believe Fark UJ is just behind him as well on the mediums. So be interesting to see where these two actually finish. Actually what time they can put in on those mediums.
Is with...
Oh, Kevin Ambrose has left the session. Let's see if we can get him back in.
So the constant state of the disconnection in this game is very depressing for the drivers. I mean, that's the reason why I ended up in commentary myself. I've got so fed up with the state of this game. It's just so, what's the word I'm looking for? Unuser friendly.
Yeah.
To put it politely.
Well, Ryan switched to softs and Leclerc's put, I take it that is drying up a bit. I would say so, because he switched to softs. But Cam and FarQJ are not too far away from each other, and they're about to... Cam is about to come up to the last corner now. The amount of speed he takes around that... Oh, he went wide! And he still goes fastest. FarQJ is coming around the final corner as well. 134.4 and 136.7. I think FarQJ's backed out.
I think it might be Icky on the next drive around.
It is indeed. He also has
Dylan
just
behind him.
So he goes. Oh, Dylan goes P2 with a 136.3, and Ikian goes fourth with 136.9. So yeah, a really good drive. I definitely think the Racing Point driver was getting a toe there of the Haas driver, and I think Ikian or Ikean or whatever. Sebastian slots Dylan down to P3 with a 135.
Good time from Sebastian there.
Yep, especially on mediums. Dylan's actually on the softs. Kevin Ambrose is back in. Is Kimmy the Iceman back in? I did not see his name join back.
I haven't seen it yet, neither.
But we are coming down to the 10-minute mark, so I mean this qualifying session's going rapidly.
It looks like both AlphaTauris are coming out together. You think that's a plan? One
yeah.
to show the other?
Slipstream, yep. I mean, a bit of team help, shall we say, doesn't go amiss. I mean, it gave me in round one a really decent starting position because I had Andrew actually in front of me by mistake, and he gave me a toe, a massive toe, and it catapulted me up. I believe I qualified P5. So I mean, sometimes it can work. They just have to be careful, because if one's running too close to the other and something happens and they're not paying attention, then it can end in tears. But we've got a yellow. I believe that's Andrew just coming into the pits. Oh! Okay, so...
disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually...
Same place as... it's the same... It's done what Tempest has done, and in the game's DQ'd him.
Yep. Does not surprise me.
Yeah, but it doesn't even give you a chance to reverse the car out of the way and then
Nope.
do what you want to do, does it?
Nope.
It's fucking bullshit. There's no other way around it.
Yep.
Or word for it.
It's literally, when you go in and hit the wall into the pit lane, they literally give you about 0.5 seconds to move your car out the road, otherwise they disqualify you, which is completely fucking stupid, but never mind.
So with
the
Lithium
AlphaTauris
already out, that only leaves 3 people to be dropped out of this session.
Yep, and the 2 AlphaTauris are on a lap as Leclerc sits purple in sector 1. Jezzer's not actually close enough to get any slipstream off of Leclerc, so it doesn't look like they're working some AlphaTauri magic. They're literally...
I think, through this sector where the cars are running now, it's a massive help. In sector 3, I don't think you want to be behind the other car.
No,
sector 3 is so
not.
technical, I think that it do more harm than good, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think it will. Especially if you make a mistake, run off, come back on, and your teammate doesn't see you, that could end badly. Leclerc puts purple in sector 2. Both of them are actually out on mediums as well, so they obviously feel they want to run the longer stint, but I definitely think quite a lot of people will be coming back out on softs, because Dylan is already back out on softs. Kevin Ambrose, who's just joined
I believe he actually set that time on... Oh no, he did set it on medium, didn't he? No, I mean, sure.
No,
he actually...
yeah, he set it on softs the first time. He's back out on a new
I thought
set.
he did.
Yep, he's back out on a new set as Leclerc's round the final corner. And what time is it from Leclerc? It's 1:34, 1:71. So Jezzer's about to come across the line, and it's P4, 1:35.6. I mean, it's still definitely still a good showing from AlphaTauri.
In the meantime, Vapid has gone purple in 1 and 2, but I think Prime Spike will be the next car. across the line.
He's actually invalidated.
Who's the racing point behind? Is it Dylan? He's on an out lap, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
So
on
the
an outlap.
next valid lap to finish will be Vapid Coot.
So we'll keep an eye on Vapid, see what he can produce. It's definitely going to be a close one between these guys.
Vapid does like to use all of the track, doesn't he? I mean, all of the curbs.
P3 134.515, so quite a good lap.
Little bit of a switch around there between the two, because I believe Vapid was faster than Cam in the first one, but then Cam's got him at the moment on the harder tyre. Cam seems to come stronger on the harder compound tyre than it does on the soft. That's one thing I have noticed.
Well, the person who was the fastest in Q1 is now out on track. Constant Ryan is out on the mediums and has just took out a bollard, but never mind. He is on his out lap about to start.
Kevin Ambrose is about to cross the line though.
Yes, he's about to run out of fuel as well. He goes P6 with 136.1. Really good time from the Ferrari driver. I don't know if Kimi the Iceman's got back in yet or not.
I haven't seen him rejoin. I'm currently on board with Prime Spike, who is about to finish his flying lap.
Actually, Kimi the Iceman's been called into work, so he won't be racing. His Prime Spike goes P9th. So we know Kimi the Iceman's going to be eliminated, but I don't think his car will be there after qualifying, so that should be fine. Let's have a look. We'll jump on board with Constant Ryan because he is on a lap. He's just set a purple in sector 1. So, a little bit wobbly coming out the hairpin there.
It's a good lap, Jamie. Little bit of a leeway there. 2.5, 3 tenths between you and second.
I mean, a 34 on mediums when most people were saying 34s on softs. I mean, it's definitely a lap and a half. Constant Ryan flying over the curb there as Kevin Ambrose gets out the road. I think that was Kevin anyway. Yeah, it was. 4QJ still in the pits. Neatville's also out on track as well.
Looking from the thingy, I think Ryan will be the next person over the line.
Yep, he will indeed. He's definitely moving. Really.
Using all of the track there.
Yep.
It's this final sector where you see the difference, I think, between the driver. Like Vapid will use a lot of that left curb and swing right over for the inside right there, whereas Cam doesn't tend to use the left curb before the entry. I think that's where you see the difference in sector 3 between the drivers, where some are just finding that extra tenth.
Well, Ryan has went P4 with a 134.7, so it's kind of switched around a little bit from Q1. Obviously, the top 5 will be happy with what they've set. Kevin Ambrose is invalidated. Vapid is actually retired from the session. Dylan's back in the pits as well. Neatville is on.
Well, if you're looking at, you want to start on the mediums.
Yep.
You don't really want to go put an extra lap on them.
No.
It's a quite abrasive surface here at Abu Dhabi anyway.
Well, Neatville is about to start his first lap on these set of softs, I think. I believe he was on an outlap before.
He was very well using all too much of the curb.
Spun.
I was saying he's using all of the curb, but he used too much of that inside one there.
He's
Did well
managed
to keep it out of the wall though.
Yeah, he's managed to stay out of the wall, which is obviously really hard around Abu Dhabi because I've hit the outside curb on that bit before and went flying over.
No damage, but those tyres will be all over the place at the moment. Just need to take it slow, treat this lap as an out lap, cool them tyres back down.
Dylan said, ran out of fuel half a second up. Nice. I mean, it can happen. There's 2 minutes left. Sitting P8, I would say it's more than likely you'll probably go through. Because obviously.
Well, we know Kimmy's not, so
No.
we know Kimmy won't be setting the time.
So it's literally 2 more people. And it could be anybody as Leclerc's. The top 3 and Jezza have retired from Q2. Obviously feel like they have
Yeah, you've got to be out on track right now, or there isn't much time for you to come out and get a lap in.
Well, Dylan and 4QJ are out on track. Nickville
I'm
is...
surprised that Jackson hasn't come out though.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm surprised as well because he's currently sitting in the drop zone 11th as Constant Ryan also retires. So the top 4 will start on mediums.
There's definitely not enough time for Jackson to come out.
No. Although he may be starting 11th strategically for the choice of fresh tyres.
Yep, that is a possibility.
Andrew had to pop out. Okay. Neatville does a 1:54.0, but that definitely isn't his actual time. I think he'll be going for it this
Yeah. He had that big slide where he took too much curb in sector 1, cool his tyres back down.
I mean, he kind of needs to watch as well because this will be running his tyres out massively.
See, he's telling me that he's purple again, look.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a lock up into the hairpin.
Yeah, he does definitely use no ABS by the looks of it as well.
He needs to watch as well because this will be wearing down his tyres and it means he'll have to pit a lot sooner than everybody else. Especially if he finishes outside top 10. Well, actually no, if he finishes outside top 10 he gets to choose, but if he finishes 10th, it's definitely going to be putting him at a disadvantage as qualifying has finished. We've only got Dylan.
Yeah, but he won't necessarily start there because he could improve next...
Yeah, but he'll be starting on these tyres, so
he
it's
will be starting
happen.
on those tyres, yeah.
Which is obviously going to put him at a slight disadvantage
But
because...
He is right now between Neatville and Prime Spike. Dylan has done enough to go through. He can't be pushed out. There's only Neatville on track left to set a time.
Kind of took the corner a bit too tight there and ended up messing up the exit, but he's managed to keep the car on track and keep going. He comes around the final corner and it's a 1:35.4, which puts him P5.
Prime Spike gets that up to the 11th spot for the fresh brand new mediums.
I mean, that's... yeah. I mean, it's definitely... it's put Neatville in a very bad position.
Spot.
Yeah. It's definitely put him in a bad position. Prime Spike's obviously in...
It is and it isn't. I mean, at the same time, he's got one lap more, but he's also the front of all the other soft runners at the moment. If he can replicate that in Q3 and know that the cars in front are all on a different strategy.
Well, Prime Spike's put gutted in the chat. I mean, I wouldn't say gutted, I would say that could be a blessing starting from 11th. Let's put it that way. Because you're front of the people who can have fresh tyres, and also quite a few people in front of you are going to be pitting early as well. But as you can see, Prime Spike, Andrew Jackson, Kimmy the Iceman, and Ikian, or however you say his name.
And also, as well, back to what you just said, that this track, I feel, with the way that, not necessarily turn 1, but the way that turn 2 flows and the braking into the hairpin just after it, into the chicane before on your way up to the hairpin, especially lap 1, it tends to produce, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of skeptical driving, so you know you may be able to take advantage of some stuff that's going on in front of you as well.
Yeah, I mean you could look at it.
It's definitely not all bad for Prime Spike.
No, I mean you could look at it this way: the people on the softs, they are going to be losing grip really fast, so he could take advantage of people's mistakes with less grip in front of him and then take places. But it's definitely not all over for Prime Spike. So. I mean, as we say all the time, it's only qualifying. What actually matters is what happens in the race. So he's still within a shot of finishing in the points. So we'll have to see. But there is cars coming out on track.
There is, and I have to put all my fucking things up because Toadmasters likes to fucking take them all off after each fucking session.
I've not got them up either. There we go. So Neatville is out first. Oh no, he's not. He's just let Cam go past him. And Vapid by the looks of it. In fact,
It's probably, I mean, that's probably something I would think about doing in myself in that situation. There's myself, I would look at that and go, okay, I know Cam is a faster driver than me. I don't want to hold him up or have the pressure of holding him up while I'm trying to put in a clean run. So while I'm on the outlap, he's on the outlap, let him go. It's not an issue. Then you don't necessarily have the pressure of someone ticketing you for blocking him on a hot lap.
well,
Even though you're on a hot, I mean,
Prime Spikes put him in the middle of the pack, so bound to get tagged at first corner.
you're not in the, well, you are and you're not. I mean,
Okay,
with
there's only
with what? Kimmy the Iceman gone and not coming back, obviously due to being called out for work. Tempest, I don't think has rejoined.
and not yet. He's not. I'm not seeing his name pop up. I mean,
So
the only real
I think you've only
advice.
got about 3 or 4 behind you.
Well, I mean,
As
the
long
only
as
real.
you're good on your brakes.
The only real
Turn one.
advice that we could possibly give Prime is usually if I'm in the middle of the pack, I try to stay to the outside because people are going to dive bomb you no matter what you do on the first corner. So if you stick to the outside, they'll either go in too deep or go in too tight, and you'll avoid them making contact with the wall. Obviously, I don't know if you're going to be on the inside or the outside for turn 1, but turn 1's quite tricky here because it's a sharp left hand and then it's a long sweeping left then sweeping right. So I mean,
Well, you definitely got a lot more runoff on the outside than you do on the inside. That's for sure. So
I mean, I would try and run to the outside so that even if you do get pushed off, you've got a massive area where you can try and get back on, and you're not on the inside and clapping the wall and then spinning across the track and taking out multiple cars. I mean, that's basically the only thing I could say. But I mean, Abu Dhabi's a tricky one for, especially when you're in the middle of the pack. But I mean, it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. So, yeah, I mean, just keep your fingers crossed and take it easy, and we'll see how you go. But Cam is going to be the first one to set a time in Q3. He's went purple in sector 1
he
and
did,
2.
and Vapid didn't behind him.
So it looks like Cam is moving a lot quicker, so we'll see. Everyone is out on track as well.
Who was that? Which Ferrari was that?
I think it's
That
Kevin.
was great awareness.
Yeah, to move out of an Alpha Tauri's way.
No, not just that. He had Vapid come up behind him right in a really tricky area to try and let somebody through. Great awareness from Kevin Ambrose there for the other drivers around him. So well done, Kevin.
Prime said, noted guys, thanks, no problem. Cam has actually put in the fastest lap, 1:33.497.
He did. Vapid was slower.
And Vapid's done it the other way around, 1:33.947. Leclerc goes P3 with a 1:33.994, with Sebastian behind him with 1:34.791. Then Jezza with a 1:34.866.
So
does a 1:36.
Q1 we had Constant Ryan top.
Yes.
Q2 who topped it?
I believe
Leclerc?
it was Leclerc. Yep.
What do you reckon? Q3 different driver again, or?
Yeah, I thought. Well, Constant Ryan's just went P2 with a 1:33.5, so I think Cam probably will nick this one. Where it is, 4QJ is just about to come around the final corner now. And then I believe the last person to set a lap will be Kevin Ambrose.
It is also very close between Jezza and Sebastian.
Yep, it is indeed. So right now, I mean, and I've got to say, quite impressed with Dylan. His first race in SFR and he's made it into Q3, so we'll see how he goes in the race. But we're on board with Kevin Ambrose, who's, I think he's about to come into traffic. Unless a bit wide.
We've all said, as you know, Drew Racer, one lap speed qualifying does, you know, if you can do it well, yeah, it does not necessarily make you a good league racer.
No.
You're aware of the example I'm going to give. I've got nothing bad to say about this driver at all. I think he's a great dude and a great representation for the league that he races in. But there's one particular driver that I've raced against in TIR And his qualifying pace and one lap pace is so far off the charts. It's insane. But he just doesn't have the consistency each week when it comes to the actual race. Pushes too hard somewhere or not enough, and it's just because you're good in qualifying or you can have a good qualifying doesn't necessarily mean that your race is going to follow suit.
Yeah, I think that's one fundamental thing that some people forget about Formula One is it's not your qualifying pace, it's your race consistency. Obviously, the more consistent you are, the more likely you are to score points, because if you're pushing every lap, you're going to wear your tyres out, spin out, have an accident, or just something along that line. Obviously, if you're more consistent, you're going to not spin out, not wear your tyres out, you're going to run longer into the race, your strategy will be changing throughout the race. I mean, it's multiple things that can obviously change the race outcome from different drivers, but I mean, that's why I fell in love with Formula One. It's just it's basically the one thing that you can't predict. Prime Spike's
Prime
left.
Spike's gone.
Let's see if we can get him back in. I don't know if he's left because it's just Q3 and he's coming back, but we'll send
Well, I
him
wouldn't have
straight.
thought so, not with only 4 minutes.
Where is he? There
Wow,
he is.
excuse me there, folks. I'm sorry about that.
There we go. Throw him an invite, see if he can jump back in. But yeah, so Kevin's coming back round. There's Dylan, Jezza, Sebastian, and Cam all back out on track.
It is close at the moment between Kevin Ambrose and Dylan as well.
Yep, it definitely is. Kevin's made it back without running out of fuel, so really good for the Ferrari driver. His teammate's still in the pits as well, so they've still got 4 minutes to go, so they have got a little bit of time.
Yeah, every driver has set their initial first run time successfully. No invalidations, every driver does have a time on the board. We have 3 minutes 50 left, and I'm guessing each driver has probably got one fresh set of softs if they haven't used them all already.
Yeah, I believe Jezza is right now the person who's on a lap, with Sebastian just behind him. Sebastian's actually bumped into Constant Ryan, but Ryan's coming out the pits. Ryan needs to watch he doesn't get disqualified for blocking the pit lane, because we know that game's good at doing that, and Prime Spike's put I'm in the lobby. Okay, that's good. Just wanted to make sure you were there for the start of the race, but Jezza is coming down to, we've got a yellow flag, I believe that's Rapid just letting Dylan past.
Jezza is the front runner of the cars though, isn't it?
Yes, he is, yeah. I believe the next person would be Nickville. No,
No, it's Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah. And then it's Dylan.
Yeah, and then after that, everyone else is...
It's Cam, then Dylan. Cam's on the lap as well. It'll probably not let you take control of your car, Prime, until the start of the race. Well, I mean, obviously you won't be able to take control of your car because it's not on the grid yet, but you should be able to take control of your car. I would wait until your car...
No, you might be able to do it now. Because he's not actually in because he's not actually in Q3, all he should have to do is go to his name.
Yeah, his name won't be there because he's been eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
And the best
Well, in that case, shouldn't he not just be okay? Because obviously he's eliminated in Q2 and he's still in the lobby. Should it not just automatically just put him into the car? Because he'll be there at the start of the session.
No, it leaves you on spectator mode.
Oh, what a fucking dickhead. Wow, this game's got too many issues, man.
And basically, it says he just got kicked from the lobby. Let's see if I can send him another invite. Once you get back in, I would wait until after the start of the race to take control of your car, because I made the mistake of taking control of the car just after the lights went out and my car literally drove straight into the car next to me.
Yeah, you can't. It's stupid that you can't do it on the formation lap. I don't understand why you can't do it on the lap where it doesn't make any difference and it would have been the safest to do it.
Yep, because you're literally driving at the slowest speed possible and you could take control, but it doesn't let you. which is stupid. But Cam has retired, so he feels like he's done enough. We're coming up to a minute as Sebastian sets a purple in sector 2 or so, I believe.
Yeah, Cam didn't improve when he went over the line, did he?
No, he's still on the same time, so we're about to see what Sebastian's going to set.
Dylan did though, because he's jumped Kevin Ambrose.
He did indeed. He's still on. I don't know if he's actually on a lap. No, he's not. Sebastian's almost used all of his DRS.
I'm sure is he on another lap or yeah, he's got again. See if he can improve 34.791. It does to a 34.244.
So P5.
What? Look at that! Look at that battle between Sebastian and Jezza.
Yeah.
It's another one of them, isn't it? The battles are there. Yeah, they're not as fast as the battle we're looking at the front between that we've been seeing over the last 4 races. But when you've got someone like that on your pace, it gives you a reason to just want to carry on and battle during the mid-pack, because it gives you that bit of fun and that racing that you're looking for.
Oh, Constant Ryan's jumped Cam for pole with a 133.297. So Cam may be retiring a bit prematurely. He's now going to start P2, but Vapid has finished.
Leclerc has purple section 1, I think.
Well, Vapid has finished now, so Leclerc may have a chance to jump him if he can improve. We'll see when he gets into the start of sector 3. If he has improved or not. Jezzo's still on track, but I believe he's not setting the time. He may actually be giving his teammate a tow.
Oh yeah, he slowed down for that one.
Yeah. So Leclerc's about to sector 2.
Was it purple in 2? No,
2 tenths
not
up.
purple in 2.
It was for me.
It wasn't purple though. It was purple.
Oh, Leclerc's crashed. He's hit the wall. He was purple in sector 2 for me, and he was actually 2 tenths up, which would have jumped Vapid, but he's not jumped Vapid as I think Sebastian.
It was broken on that car because the wheel looked attached to me.
It hit the wall on the right hand side, and his wheel came off for me.
Which wheel?
The
both
right.
front wheels are attached.
Front right came off for me. When I was on board when I'm watching him and it came off. I believe that's it though, because everyone else has ran out of fuel.
Yeah, I think Nick Veal is still on the lap. He may still improve,
Yeah, still on the lap, so he's coming across the line.
He does improve to a 34.48. He didn't gain a position, but he improved his time by a good half a second.
Leclerc said he lost the rear end. I mean, yeah, that's understandable. I've lost the rear end at that corner as well, hitting the curb on the inside, and the car's just unsettled and it flies over. But I do believe that's it. So Constant Ryan shocks us. He actually takes pole from Cam.
The 4-way battle between those drivers at the moment. Like I said, they've all had a win each.
Yes, they have. So this is going to be the first driver this season to get 2 wins. Whoever wins this race.
Unless... have there, or is Jezza won one?
I don't believe Jezza's won one. 21:01 start, says Leclerc. I don't believe Jezza's won one. I can tell you right now though.
I don't think. I think it might just be the fact that he's been up there on the podium on quite a lot of them that I'm thinking of.
I think he's been on the podium a couple of times. But I can tell you in 1 second. There it is. So Vapid's won one. Constant Ryan, Cam, and Leclerc. So Jezza's been on the podium twice.
Yeah.
But there we go. Constant Ryan does take pole with Cam in second, Vapid in third, Leclerc fourth, Sebastian fifth, Jezza sixth, Nickville seventh, FarQJ in eighth, Dylan on his debut in ninth in the top 10. Really good lap from him, and Kevin Ambrose 10th. So yeah, I mean, it's if Leclerc or Cam or Ryan or Vapid Cook win this race, whoever wins it will be the first person to win 2 races this season so far. So it's definitely going to be an important one, and I need to change that because it's put the bronze bit on to Sebastian, who finished P5 in Singapore when it's supposed to be Andrew. Don't know why it does that. But I mean, it will be an interesting one because you never know. Even though we have, oh, actually, Dylan, do not push A. I don't know if anybody mentioned it to you, but don't push A. TS Leclerc will push A when we're ready to start. I'll take 9th even though I fucked up on my tyres in Q2. Yeah, I mean, you made it into Q3, so I would class that as a win. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, you made it into Q3. It's your first race in SFR, so I need to send.
I mean, the other thing is, at the moment, we're looking at quite a mixed race in terms of strategy throughout the top 10. So I wouldn't say that it'd be so much of a problem. You're definitely going to get a few of them that will be doing a two-stop by the look of it.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say was, even though if Vapid, Ryan, Leclerc, or Cam win, they'll take two
Fine,
wins.
I think you should have one in your inbox.
I know, I've just sent them one.
It's just go up saying it's joined.
Even though if one of them take the win, it means they're going to be, they're going to have their second win in SFR. I think we're overlooking everyone else because it might not be one of them that actually wins.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. But who do you think will be, from what you've seen so far, and obviously the drives that you've done with the people on the track?
I mean,
who would you predict to be the next most likely person to try and hop one in?
I mean, if Tempest was here, I would probably say him because he has got some immense pace. But I mean, I wouldn't count out Sebastian or Blaze Envy either because they two are
Jezza and all with having 2 podiums and all.
Yeah, Jezza as well.
But I was going to say Blaze Envy. I've seen Blaze Envy do some incredible laps and he's been unlucky at times.
I believe, where was it? I think it was round 1. Me and Blaze Envy had a humongous battle. I think it was United States. The two of us were literally nose to tail for most of the race, which I mean I really enjoyed, and I think he did as well because he sent me a message after the race. But I mean, it just goes to show when you find someone who's, someone who's close to your pace or a little bit quicker than you, and you can keep up with them, it makes for some amazing racing. So
sometimes some amazing friendships.
Yep. Well, I mean, case in point, me and every single person I talk to.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is usually a select few people that you match pace with on track, and we can't get to the strategy screen. It's gonna. Oh, wait a minute. He can't get to the strategy screen. He's not going to be able to load. Oh no, wait a minute, it should have kept his setup, should it not? Because he was already in and he went out on track. He's basically just jumping back in.
I don't know how that works. I know you have to reload it on a reset, on a restart lobby, but it's not a restarted lobby, so the car should still be on the same era as what it was.
Yeah, because your car was basically still in the session. It's just, oh wait a minute.
Yeah, it's not crashed. It's not left. It's not crashed. So it should not be on.
He is on.
You'll be able to know, and you'll be able to know instantly when you get in it by your front wing, obviously.
Well, he is on the grid. Yeah, I mean, once you get into the car, I would check your front wing. Just make sure it's on what you left it on. If not, then, I mean, it definitely should still be loaded. Yeah, Spectre. It won't let you take control of the car whilst it's on a formation. It'll have to be when the race starts. It'll basically let you take control, but just watch because this game's deceiving.
You have to go across when you're in spectator mode. You have to highlight your own name so that it says take control.
Yeah.
No. Press your spectator menu, and then at the top where it says driver select, go across to your own name, press A, and it'll be an option that says take control of the car. It may not appear Y until after the formation lap though.
Yeah, there we go. It should look like this just now. but once the race actually starts, the take control one will go like the spectate one, so you can actually take control. It's just because the game doesn't let you take control on a formation lap.
Formation lap, yeah.
You can only take control once the race actually starts, which is
If
a
you
stupid
can't
thing.
get back in, I'm pretty sure something will be done about it.
But it's I'm like 95% sure that it's just because it's a formation lap. As Jezza,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is because.
Yeah, Jezza and Nickville have been put back, naughty boys, and been put back on the starting grid. So they will be starting the race with cold tyres. Interesting to note as well, the top 6 are on mediums, so let's see who's picked
That's
what.
going to get me Nick Veal right there behind them all on the softs. He's going to have a good run at them off the start line, that's for sure.
Yeah, but his tyres. Oh, as Constant Ryan's hit the wall.
Cars leaving everywhere at the moment.
I mean, it's not the worst thing. There'll be brand new softs, so you should be able to. Yep, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
You should be able to run a little bit. I mean, the one-stop soft to hard may work, but I think it'll have to be a two-stop probably. But we are getting ready to start the race.
It's got to that it get you out prime and you can get to select your strategy, because obviously you was in prime position there with brand new fresh mediums. But hopefully you can now get onto your own name and select your car once from this bit now it's changed. You should be able to get onto it and select your name.
Well, here we go. 5 red lights, and it's
a big hold.
Yeah, they were holding rapidly, and my screen's screwed up again.
Ferrari is going down the outside. It's took one. It's going to go up the inside.
Oh, Leclerc's went off. Oh, Constant Ryan's went off as well in front.
I think it's 4QJ going to get on the inside. He is going to hold it. It's just around the outside of Leclerc. There's contact there between.
I think that was Dylan and Kevin Ambrose. I'm not sure.
Looked like a Ferrari in a racing point.
Yep. I think Prime Spikes actually took control of his car as well. So yeah, it does look like the two-stop, soft, medium, or soft, medium,
He is alongside the AlphaTauri. I'm on board with Prime Spike. He's directly behind Leclerc. It looks a solid car. It looks like he is in control and racing well at the moment. No damage on that car.
Tempest. Is Tempest even back in? He's not. So the two cars are still ghosted. But they are fighting.
Yeah, they're actually inside each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Andrew goes. He's round the outside of Blaze. He pulls out of the move on Blaze Envy and goes a little bit wide, and then there goes SC Crystal. He's actually got a run on both of them. And his teammate as well.
Ikian's just got past Nick Veal there.
It looks like SC Crystal has just took 3 cars on the straight, so he's now up into P11, which is a really good move from himself. Let's have a look further up the field. So far, QJ.
Ikian on the softs though, I think he's on the move as well. He's
What's happened to Sebastian?
Whoa! Late on the brakes there, he had to bail right out of that one.
Nickville almost losing the back end there. And again.
Can I just point out though, Cam has over a second lead within the lap.
Yep, he has indeed.
Why am I seeing blue flags while I'm on board with Constant Ryan?
I have no idea.
They are flashing blue on the board, right?
Yeah, I see it as well. Leclerc has Prime Spike. Oh, he just tapped him.
Oh dear, there's...
And the
Prime
board's
Spike
messed up.
is in 5th place right now.
Well,
actually, no, ignore that because that's Codemasters.
Yeah,
all
the
over
board's
place.
messed up again.
Yep.
The timing glitch.
Oh, Blaze Envy's gonna get. Is he gonna get the cutback and go all the way around the outside? No, is Prime gonna follow him? No, he's gonna look for a good switch back there. He's gonna get a good run out of the corner. Got his teammate just in front of him. But Blaze Envy managed to go all the way around the outside on the hairpin.
Yep, he's moved over to try and break the slipstream. They also have Andrew Jackson just behind them, or A Jackson just behind them.
This four-way battle though at the moment: Sebastian, Kevin Ambrose, Jezza, and Ikian. Kevin Ambrose is lining up. It looks like he's on the faster tyre. He can brake later. He's going to try and send it.
Oh, that was close. Sebastian has to cut the corner to avoid contact.
I don't think he did. I think it's...
That the Haas driver just went up the inside of Jessel and took the place. So
Ikian, yeah, he's on the faster tyre though. He hasn't got the grippier tyre.
Yep.
Jezza is on the mediums, and so is Sebastian. But the two in the middle, Ikian and Kevin Ambrose, are on the softs.
Is Jezza going to try for a move again to try and take the place back as Cam sets the fastest lap again? Oh, again goes really, really wide on that corner.
Wide. It's going to give Jezza a nice look at him at the moment.
So DRS is going to be activated this lap, even though we've not had the notification because it is lap 3. So we'll see what can happen.
Definitely going to spice things up down the back straight.
Yep, it definitely is. As Jezza looks like he's making the move. Nope.
He thought about it.
Yep, really close.
Showing that AlphaTauri to the mirror.
Oh, he goes down the inside.
Oh, that's brave stuff.
Oh,
brave stuff.
Ikian goes wide.
Yep.
Oh, Prim Spikes lost it and hit the wall.
Right.
Yep, so Jezza.
There goes Jezza.
Yep, it goes up the inside. Nice move from Jezza. Really nice awareness from Ikian as well.
Ikian's going to have the DRS on Jezza this time. But Jezza's still got DRS himself on Kevin Ambrose, who's got nothing to defend with. He's going to send it late up the inside.
Oof. Just a slight. Oh! Massive contact there. I don't know if the Haas got any damage. He didn't. He's actually got damage on the left hand side of that wing.
Nick Leo is trying his best to defend off Blaze Envy at the moment.
Ooh. Another piece of that Haas wing just came off.
Which one? Ikian?
Yeah. I think he hit the back of Kevin. Cam with another fastest lap.
It looks like they are side by.
Kevin's in.
Probably just making the pit.
Yeah.
Such a tight entry that is.
Wow.
What a race so far.
Yeah, I mean the middle of this field is just so bunched up. They're literally on top of each other. Oh, Prime Spike gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As it looks like
Ikian's going to be really on the defensive down this back straight. I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough to have DRS to defend, but the two behind Ikian will have DRS on him. Neville already on a run.
Yep, Blaze Envy is really close
He's
as
going
well.
to go to the inside. I don't think Ikian's going to fight that.
Nope, he's not. He's also got his teammate right behind him as well.
And his teammate is on a different strategy to Ikian. Obviously, different tyres for each of the half cars.
Now
But
we're going to make a
Ikian now
move.
though has got the this is a tricky track to know which DRS straight to take it on. Sometimes doing it on the first one just leaves you wide open to come back on the second one, because unlike other tracks, the two individual zones for this, that is very, very wide there by Ikian, and I'm not sure if he'll have to give that back.
Oh, he's just took his teammate out. Blaze Envy just hit. I think Ikian was trying to let Neatville back past.
I think he was trying to he knew that he had done the move off track, and I think he was trying to do the fair thing.
He was trying to let Neatville back past, and I think Blaze Envy got caught out there. Obviously, everyone who's in the race.
Jackson though, thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that.
Well, everyone who's behind Kimmy the Iceman and Tempest obviously will move up a place, because they two won't be qualified or won't be counted, because the two of them disconnected, and obviously Kimmy hasn't joined back. He's been called into work, and I don't know what's happened to Tempest.
The gaps now are starting to spread out though. Cars are starting to spread themselves out on the track.
Yeah, they are indeed. So Blaze Envy is actually on the back of Dylan.
He is, but I'm not sure whether that has damage or whether it's had to pit. Has he pitted already?
I don't think so. He's on 4 lap old mediums, so I don't think he has. As he gets
Down
past
the
Dylan.
outside there.
I believe by now the soft runners will be starting to feel a little bit of wear on the tyres. The game has screwed me, that's what Prime Spike says. Yeah, I mean, we can understand that. The game's definitely screwed them over. And it's I mean, it's not the first person, probably won't be the last person either.
The two go-karts are catching Chris though, I think.
The AI set to 96, so it will be. They're extremely well. They're not difficult to beat. It's just they are aggressive. Obviously, because they're ghosted, it doesn't really have an effect because you can just drive straight through them. But it's still a bit off-putting. So,
Jackson though is getting closer now to Newville.
yeah, Nickville, who's on the softs, will be starting to feel the tyre wear as well. So we could see. I mean, Cam is 2.3 seconds in front of Constant Ryan with Vapid Coot in third. FarQJ's done a really good job as well. He's up to P4 and Sebastian's in P5 actually. Whilst we have a little bit of a break, let's check and see how many people have changed positions. So FarQJ has scored 4 positions. Cam has scored 1 by getting past Ryan. Andrew,
He just looks the stronger driver on the medium tyre, but on the softer tyre, I don't know, you know. I don't think he's but definitely on the medium tyre.
well, Andrew's gained 4. While SE Crystal has gained 8, so he's the person who's gained the most places. Hey Jackson, Neatville lost it.
Neatville.
Yeah, he's lost it as Vapid actually gets a penalty as well. So
I'm not entirely sure whether some poo may have shot out of Jackson's ass there with that car going round in front of him.
Kevin Ambrose gets a penalty as well. Yeah, I definitely think it did. He's got an 8-second gap to make up to Sebastian in P6.
Who is right on the back of this three-way battle. FarQJ, Jezza and Sebastian is the closest on-track battle that we have at the moment.
Yeah. Jezza keeping up really well as Sebastian goes a little bit too wide on the second last corner there. Still, is managing
I'm
to
really
keep up.
impressed with FarQJ at the moment, I have to say. Up into 4th place and running really
Cam's
well.
retired! Cam's hit the wall!
on?
Cam has hit the wall!
Oh my gosh.
FarQJ is going to
time
take
and
P3.
space.
Is it going to be a safety car? No, it's not. It looks like it's way off track. But is it going to be a safety car? It's not. It doesn't look like it's going to be. A Jackson's up to P6, Sebastian's up to P5, Jezza's in P4, FarQJ right in front of him is in P3, so
But
he
he
is on
has
the podium.
no DRS to defend what's about to happen.
Yep, Jezza is going to get past FarQJ and
But
take
doing
P3.
it here, if FarQJ can get a good exit, keep on him, he'll get the DRS back at him down this straight.
Yep.
Jezza didn't have the best exit, but neither did FarQJ, so he may have got lucky there, Jezza.
So, the 2 ghost cars are still running as well.
Sebastian is smelling at the back of that Ferrari right now.
Yep,
All
he
3
is.
of the drivers, I believe, are on the same tyre.
They are. They run all on mediums that are 6 laps old. So I'm guessing they'll probably be going medium, soft, maybe.
I mean, what a shot though. Cam,
Yeah.
in a world of his own, all that space. I wasn't expecting to see him drop it like that without contact.
He's put in the chat, damn it. Yeah, I mean, unlucky Cam, it was a really good run from yourself. It's just massively unfortunate. Hello Alpaca, thank you for joining us. But yeah, that's a massive shot. I would say one of the front runners for the championship fight, and he's out the race. But I mean, it's only round 5. There's still quite a few rounds to go, so
Yep.
I would pick up and come back and push on next week, basically.
Definitely better to get your bad luck out of the way early.
I would definitely say so. Leclerc's in the pits, so that drops him down to P14, I believe. Is Prime Spike getting past him? I don't think he is. Oh, he might actually. As Dylan's all over the back of Prime Spike. Both of them.
Sebastian's gonna have a run at FarQJ though, down this back straight. He's got no DRS to defend. He's gonna get the place, Sebastian.
It did. It looked like FarQJ broke a lot earlier than Sebastian there going into that corner.
FarQJ's winning well, he just needs to stay with it. And good points for the Ferrari driver.
Yep, It definitely is running really well. Leclerc's all over the back of Dylan, and Dylan's all over the back of Prime Spike. That's a little bit further down, but it looks like A Jackson is actually catching up with FarQJ as well. It's went from about 8 seconds to about 6.7, so
2-stop window is open.
yep, it is from now till lap 16. So we're about to see who's going to bite the bullet and try
I
the
don't
undercut.
know, man. I feel like some of those who started on the mediums might be doing the one-stop here.
Yeah, I mean they could probably push for the hards, but it's not advisable because the hards feel terrible around this track.
As far as QJ though is not down that back straight. He didn't follow in Sebastian's slipstream. Sebastian pulled left to break the toe. And far QJ stayed there, cooling his car down. It looked like it.
Maybe
Again, he's doing this. Look now, he's not. Oh, he's getting back into the slipstream now. But
yeah, definitely.
very much put me in mind of Arnie Batts in early days where he never used to use the slipstream to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming into a corner and you're right behind the car in front, it kind of unsettles the car, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But I mean, you need the slipstream to get past. But these two are running really well, and this battle is pretty good as Sebastian actually lands himself a penalty.
Yes, but he is just after pulling the gap as well from. And Jezza though, he broke out of that fight from Sebastian and Far QJ, and he started to open up a gap to Sebastian.
Well, Etienne and Kevin Ambrose are going at it.
Far QJ into the pits. What will we see going on? It is another set of mediums.
Oh, a little bit too wide from Etienne there. Can't quite keep up with Kevin around the corners. Kevin lost a little bit of time there in that. The third last corner, they're around the second last corner. Coming out the final one. They've also got Neatville just behind them as well, so this is going to be a three-way battle for the 11.
Oh, someone knew what he is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was brave. Didn't pay off, but it was still brave.
Leclerc sets the fastest lap. Kevin Ambrose goes really wide.
Etienne manages to get past him.
Neatville going to come as well.
Yep, he's went down. Oh!
I'm looking back from the hatch at the moment. And what?
Oh, Neatville! He goes deep into the corner and almost takes out Kevin Ambrose.
There was contact there between Neatville and Kevin Ambrose, that's for sure.
I mean, that was a massive contact between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari as the Ferrari driver goes down the inside, manages to take the place but goes too deep into the corner. Is Neatville going to come back?
Oh, there's contact again!
Yeah, slight contact between the two of them, banging tyres as well. I mean, I believe that was more than likely Kevin Ambrose saying, I'm not standing for that, you'll get it back. So
Blaze Envy is starting to think, is he catching up to the AI now?
Oh, Sebastian and Constant Ryan are both in the pits. Ryan's actually coming out the pits.
And is Jackson in the pits as well? Right, so far QJ went a lap earlier and was in the battle with Sebastian, yeah?
He was, yes.
So I am on board. Where will they come out?
Sebastian's on his way out now. FarQJ's jumped him. Yep, he's jumped Sebastian. So it looks like
it's about a second undercut on this track there, then, by the look of it.
Yeah.
At least a second and a half undercut there.
Yep,
but Sebastian's gone the opposite way. Sebastian has come out on a set of softs. FarQJ came out on mediums. So it looks like FarQJ will be doing a two-stop because he has to put on a different compound. He will have to go softs at the end of this race.
Yeah, he will. I mean, if he wants to push, he's definitely going to have to. Actually, so Blaze Envy is
right up there.
Yeah, he's right behind Prime Spike receives. I really feel sorry for Prime Spike. His setup's not, it's reset itself, so he's basically on the shit setup, and it's kind of screwed him over.
Bullshit, that is. I absolutely hate all the lobby restarts. It's not so bad in a league like F1 XL where it is a preset league. You know, it's acceptable and easy enough to try and get back, but customs, when you're used to racing on a custom and then you get put on a preset, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah. Nickville, there looks like Kevin Ambrose got past Nickville again, and Nickville's trying to go round the outside, doesn't make it. Leclerc is right behind Nickville and Kevin Ambrose.
Though, is right up on, closing in on Christo at the moment.
Oh, Kevin Ambrose just trying to push him out wide, and Leclerc just goes down the inside of both of them as Nickville tries to come back at Leclerc, and Kevin Ambrose is now in the pits. What a move from Leclerc, though. He took both of them as the two of them were fighting into the corner. Farku's on the back of SC Crystal, but SC Crystal has to pit.
He does.
So,
I don't see him fighting it much with 11 lap old tyres. He's gonna do the sensible thing for QJ, wait for the next zone.
Oh, close.
That's it. You've got the run now. You've got the DRS timing. You can't do nothing.
Well, he's got DRS.
Sure, he's got a good run out of the corner.
Yeah.
There is Christo.
Oh, Prime Spike's retired.
That's in the pit. That's fair and square.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. The game's kind of...
Oh, he's not going to try it. There he is. Jesus Christ.
He's just went
What
up
a
the
move.
inside of
How
the
did he
S
do
section.
that?
I have no idea. That was a move and a half from FarQJ.
He had to do it though. So look how fast Sebastian's closing in on the back of that battle.
Yep, Sebastian is closing in rapidly behind these two. SC Crystal, oh, he's up the inside. SC Crystal almost hits the wall but doesn't, and Sebastian gets past him. Nice move by Sebastian, nice awareness from SC Crystal, who goes really wide.
He's probably going to pit at this point.
Yeah, I would
He's
say
gonna
so,
check.
yes, yeah. I mean, those tyres are probably dead. Yeah.
Sebastian though, just 1 second now behind FarQJ in this battle. It's going to be interesting between these two all the way to the end, because obviously they're going to have the pit window switch and they're going to finish on alternative tyres. I would assume Sebastian is going to finish on the mediums, whereas FarQJ will finish on the softs.
Yeah.
So this battle looks set to go all the way on a different strategy between the two cars.
Constant
In
Ryan
the
just got
meantime,
past Jezza.
Jezza is right on the back of Constant Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's just got past him. But Jezza starts the pit.
He does. What is the pit window here? The longer... I'm
90-60.
starting to wonder now. We just seen a minute ago, FarQJ with a second and a half undercut to...
Again's crashed.
That's the safety car. It's on the straight, isn't it?
Has he crashed?
It's on the straight.
Yeah, he's not crashed. His car's still on track.
No, there's a hash that's not moving in the yellow flag bit of the track map.
Yeah, it was still moving a second ago for me. Oh, and Kevin Ambrose is retired as well.
Surprise, no safety car at the moment. Down to just 13 cars remaining. But back to the battle between Sebastian and FarQJ. Sebastian now down to half a second.
Jezza's in the pits.
I can smell a move coming any minute now from Sebastian. He's going to be wanting to get it done. He does have that on-track penalty for corner cut that he does need to extend, as Jezza does go onto the hards, look for the one stop. But Jesus Christ, did he almost spin it in the tunnel in the pit lane?
Yeah. Prime Spike put setup, screwed me over, started on run tyres. Fuel was not enough to run rich for first 2 laps. Catch you next week, guys. Yeah. I mean, we'll sit and have a discussion, Prime, about what's going to happen when this kind of shit happens, because it happens a bit too much.
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't think it's fair in a custom league. If you get kicked and you can't do anything, he couldn't change his strategy. He couldn't do. At that point, you can't set up your stock car tyre strategy, because like he had free choice. he couldn't do that. He couldn't adjust his fuel, and he couldn't put on a setup. That's not one handicap. That's 3.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
And
have to sit and discuss that one.
One handicap's fair enough, but 3, that's just a little hard. Is he going to go for it in the same place with the S's? Wow, what a move from Sebastian.
Yeah, he's just managed to get past FRQJ. I mean, he is on the softs, which is...
Yeah, much faster tyre.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot
but
faster.
But FRQJ is going to have that advantage back at the end when they switch around. This battle is not over.
Jezza's back out on hards, and SC Crystal's out on hards.
Yeah, Jezza, like I said, I was on board with Jezza. As he came out through the pit lane, he almost dropped it on the pit lane and exit. He almost crashed it straight into the tunnel wall.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the
hards. Vapid, cute. So, I did lose track of what I was saying earlier, though, by the way, when I was talking about FRQJ finding a 2.5 seconds. He's come in 4 laps. He's got to be gaining on those up in front. When they come in. I mean, look, he jumped Jezza by 3 seconds with Jezza coming out onto the hard. I know he has to stop again.
Yeah,
but Vapid, 14 laps old, he's going to surely be losing time now on the undercut to Ryan. But do you think Vapid's looking at the 1-stop? I think he is.
Yeah.
And I know Ryan may be looking. You can tell that Ryan's got to go for a 2-stop now. He's come out on the medium. Ryan's already showed his hand to Vapid.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Ryan's catching Vapid, but I think this may have just handed the advantage to Vapid because obviously Ryan's going to have to pit again. I do agree. I think Vapid's trying to go for a 1-stop, and the way he's driving, he's not under pressure, so he doesn't have to run his tyres ragged. So they'll probably still be in pretty good condition, but I mean, Ryan's going to be pushing like mad to try and catch Vapid, so his tyres are going to be getting wrecked a little bit. But
I'll tell you another driver who's pushing like mad right now is A. Jackson. He is homing or trying his best to home that gap to is Jezza in front of him?
Yeah,
1.5 seconds.
Yep, it's Jezza. He's bringing the gap down. It's 1.4 seconds now.
Yeah, he is on the faster tyre. Obviously, difference in strategies coming into play. But Vapid's picked up. Is that a new penalty? You always have that?
No, he got it ages ago. Oof. A. Jackson gets a penalty. That's not going to help his cause.
The gap is coming down between Ryan and Vapid, though.
It definitely is. It's down to 3.7 seconds. So this is going to be a very, very close one towards the end. There is only 12 and a bit laps left, so...
Yeah, we know surely the hards will go that.
Yeah, the hards will go that. Yeah, the hards definitely... I don't think
My question is, I don't think he's doing that. I think he's aiming to try and go medium to soft. How many laps can you get out of the soft? If you can get 8, you can get 4 more out of them mediums, mate.
You could probably get between 6 and 8 laps out of the softs before they fall off.
Vapid then only really needs to try. I know he's losing time to Ryan, but Ryan does have to pit again.
He does indeed.
And Vapid has pit. 16, 4, 3, he's got to do 12 laps, 11 laps?
Yeah, 11 and a bit laps. So,
what time? It is the
softs.
It is the softs.
Oh, this is gonna be. This is a ballsy call by Vapid, because he could end up with a puncture at the end of this, because those tyres will start falling off around the 7 lap mark, and then I don't.
So what you're saying? Around we're expecting lap 24, 25.
Yeah.
Vapid's tyres.
Yeah. About lap 24, 25, Vapid will probably...
But like you said though, he doesn't have to necessarily push, and being on the super start, being on the faster tyre, I mean, he's 19 seconds back, so that's roughly what a pit stop costs, because he was, what, say 2 seconds in front?
Yeah.
So call it 20, and we know Constant Ryan is probably going to have to stop again. If you can get that gap down to 15 seconds before Ryan pits.
Ryan might
Ryan's
not be
then
pitting
gonna have
again. His laps are 5 laps old. His tyres are 5 laps old. There's only 11 laps left. he should theoretically be able to possibly make it to the end. I mean, his tires are going to be wrecked when he gets to the end.
Negative, negative, negative. Ryan has stopped once and he's on the medium tyres, and I'm pretty sure he started on the medium tyres, which means he will have to pit.
He will have to pit for the change of compound. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a close one between these two because Vapid is gaining fast. A. Jackson's catching up with Jezza as well.
I think we're going to see at the next pit stop window a massive battle for that final podium position between Jezza, FarQJ and Sebastian as well. Because you've got one on the one stop, Sebastian and FarQJ are on the two stop, but on alternate. Yeah, well, he will be before FarQJ because he went on the soft, didn't he? So that's what I'm saying. Now Sebastian's got to finish on the mediums. FarQJ is going to finish on the soft. Jezza doing the one stop on the hards. These three drivers fighting it out for that final podium spot. It's going to be interesting.
I think Jackson might have just threw his name into the hat as well because he's keeping up with Jezza. He will have to pit again, more than likely, but I don't know. It's going to be really, really tough to call this. TS Leclerc's up to P6 from the earlier conundrum that he had. Blaze Envy's crashed.
That is a safety car.
It is a safety car.
That is that Ryan's saviour?
It's more than likely because he has 18 seconds in front of Vapid.
I tell you what it is, it's definitely Vapid Coot's saviour because that's going to help him get those softs to the end, no end.
Yeah, but it's also going to put him under pressure massively from Ryan, who's going to be
on... It will, because they're going to be on Delta. They're going to be on Delta at the moment.
I think Ryan's going to come in for softs.
He will, but I still think Vapid will hold track position. I don't think there's enough time. I'm not sure whether Ryan can get back out in front.
Vapid's got a penalty, Ryan hasn't.
We'll find out in a minute. Constant Ryan is the only one right there to take advantage at the moment. I don't see Vapid. Will Vapid pit again?
Brand new softs.
Is that well, as long as he gets back out on track in second, he will be able to close back up to Constant Ryan.
Well, Constant Ryan does come back out as FarQJ comes in as well. So does Jezza.
Yeah, so that is going to guarantee Vapid back out into second place then.
I tell you what, who this has actually saved is Dylan, who was 25 seconds down from SC Crystal, and now he's going to be bunched up. So this is going to be a clear shot for every single person. I think everyone's going to be pitting for softs. Who's that? Sebastian stays out on mediums.
Yeah, but Sebastian had pitted on the lap that the safety car was initiated. It literally just come out. Sebastian got screwed the most by that.
Yeah.
I would have said.
He's going to be under a lot of pressure from everyone behind.
But Jezza has shed his hards as well, though, and gone onto the mediums. Behind.
Yep. Oh, Dylan stays out on the hards. I definitely think that's a mistake from the Racing Point driver. He's not going to be as quick as everybody in front. He should have.
I tell you, but FarQJ is looking in a really good position to get his very first podium here in SFR at the moment.
Well,
he is currently in third, and the two drivers, when they do get behind him at the restart, are on a harder compound tyre.
Yeah.
TS Leclerc has been thrown a lifeline. If he can clear Jackson, I don't suppose Jezza will fight him, knowing that his teammate is on the faster tyre.
Yeah, I definitely think he won't fight him. I mean, you never know, it might be a possibility he might fight him, but I definitely don't think he will. But I definitely think this is going to spice up. My teammate just took me out of the race pretty much. Okay. JAU.
Ikian or Blaze Ever?
I have no idea which one that is.
I think it was one of the Hasses. It must be.
But everyone is backing up. So, and I think Dylan and SC Crystal are going to make it to the back end of the pack before the safety car comes in. Everybody's just going to have to watch, because you will get a time penalty if you hit the car in front if you're not paying attention. So normally I would.
Yeah, you know what's there's still the bullshit thing about that though. The thing that really pisses me off about that is, okay, you get a 5-second penalty. That's probably your own fault for tailing too close and not having good judgment. However, the fact that you've just given the car you've hit a 5-second penalty for doing nothing is absolute fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Codemasters were thinking when they programmed that in to start with.
Well,
how you could be at fault for just sitting there and being rear-ended is beyond me.
Well, we are currently waiting for the safety car. That's from Days.
Days.
Wait, do you mean Blazed?
Yeah.
Oh, the Haas boys being realistic and crashing into each other on both DNFs.
Yeah, Blaze. Yeah, I had a feeling it was one of the Haasses.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been Blaze.
I mean, it happens. In a few other leagues, I've tapped the rear end of my teammate before. I mean, it happens when you get too close on track. Not everybody's immune
Sometimes it
from
just happens.
Yeah, it's just something that happens. It's not.
I still remember. I think the worst one I ever did was at Austria when I caught the inside of the final corner and took air off of the sausage curb, having no control and completely taken out Matt 45, my teammate at the time.
Well, safety car is in this lap, so everyone's getting ready to come back to racing. There will be 8 laps left, so these guys.
Dylan though, when he pitted, he must have been out of soft tyres because he's had to come out on the hards.
I think he's actually. If he's came out.
He might have been out. He might have been run out of new tyres for the softs. How many he used in the qualifying?
It's a possibility. I mean, we're waiting for Constant Ryan to start this race back off, but just remember, whoever finishes 12th will finish 10th, because Tempest and Kimmy the Iceman are not there, so everyone will score points as it stands.
And we are back underway.
We are
There
back
we go.
underway, so they're all going to be really
QJ
close.
already managing to keep a gap between him and Sebastian. The
Yeah.
medium was struggling there to keep up with the soft runners from that restart. Broke DRS already to the top 3.
Leclerc's all over the back of A. Jackson, who's all over the back of Jezza as well. Jezza obviously.
Here we
mediums.
go, boys. Remember, DRS is not active just yet.
Nope,
We have 3 laps to go. It'll be 23. I'm telling you now, I'm on board with 4QJ, and his car in a straight line looks faster than Rapids.
Yep, he's definitely right up the back end of that McLaren.
He's got a lot. It looks like he's got very little drag.
As A. Jackson
The
goes
Rapid
for
had a
move
good exit there.
on Jezza. He's got the faster tyre, but he's not gaining a lot. He's just at a purple sector 2 as well, A. Jackson, so maybe on for the fastest lap point as well.
I think that you'll rarely see the stuff come into its own through section 3 and section 1 though. Section 2 is not really. It's an all-out, flat-out street, and I don't think it really matters as long as you get a good drive out of the corner.
I just had to look behind on board with A. Jackson, and Leclerc's car was literally pushing that racing point round the corner.
It is on right now.
Yeah,
The gaps are starting to open up. Constant Ryan, I've got to say, doing an epic job on that restart.
Says
Just claiming the
fastest
fastest lap.
yeah.
But he is now out of DRS with Vapid.
Yeah, so this is going to hamper Vapid when the DRS comes into effect and
The Jezza.
next lap.
It's going to be on Sebastian any minute.
And you've got to think, he's going to be on Sebastian, and he's got TES Leclerc and A. Jackson just behind him, who are on the
Jezza
faster
though,
tyre.
also, no time penalties. He could jump
Yes, he could. He could
at
end
least
up
2
on,
of them.
He
He
could
could
end
jump
up
to
second.
3rd. I don't know about that.
1, 2, 3. I think Vapid's got. Nope,
It's
Vapid's over
close,
3.
but by the time the end of the race, it might just be over that at the moment. He needs to clear these soon if he's going. If Sebastian picks up another penalty, so
Yeah,
he's definitely not in a good situation, but Jezza gets a really good drive out of the corner. It's going to send one down the inside. Who's going to blink on the brakes?
Oh, Jezza goes deep. Really deep, but he manages to take the place, so I
Yep,
mean, fair
locked
play.
up and still managed to not fall off the track.
Yep. Really fair play at Jezza there. Managed
Yes,
to make it.
Leclerc now behind is going to be wanting to follow his teammate.
Well, indeed, he's got A. Jackson right behind him, who I believe gave up the place to Leclerc.
Again, Leclerc also is penalty free.
Yep.
If he can get up there, he can really get up there. As Vapid is starting to close the gap to Ryan now. He's really starting to turn it up.
Yep, the two of them are very, very close. He's going to have DRS as well, so even playing field now, because both are on soft tyres, and Vapid's going to have the DRS coming down the straight. But is he going to be close enough? He's going to have to get a really, really good exit out of the hairpin. Oh, he's out of DRS range now. That definitely looks like he's in DRS range, so the timing may be wrong.
I mean, I hate to be the one here cheering for it, but come on, Forky J, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he's done really well. He's 1.8 seconds in front of Jezza. But I mean, Jezza's gone. Oh, sorry, he's not. He's 2.1 seconds in front of. Wait a minute.
Yes, but yeah, and he does have a corner cut penalty, obviously.
Yes, he does. As Leclerc has
He's
passed
raced so
Sebastian.
well this race as far QJ, and I think it's one of them races where he may throw up a surprise, but I think the driver that's currently sat in third deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a shame for him if he loses it. But Jezza is.
Sebastian, is past. Leclerc is past Sebastian, so I suspect that Jezza won't fight his teammate. He'll let his teammate on the softer tyre go after FarQJ.
Yeah. We could actually see. I mean, one of them is going to score a podium, but it just depends which one, because Jezza and Leclerc don't have penalty. So this is going to come down to who wants it more. I don't know if Jezza will let Leclerc pass though. I mean, this could be a Leclerc moving side to side to say, Jezza, you're going to let me pass, but I don't think Jezza will.
I think he may on the DRS. I don't think he'll do it here. There's no point where it cost Jezza himself too much time.
Well, we're about to find out.
But he is closing that gap down, Jezza, to FarQJ. FarQJ's softs are starting to feel it right about now.
He's coming down the straight.
It
He's
looks
catching
like
him.
Leclerc is homing in fast. He may go for it on the
Nope.
next one.
Yeah, not quite close enough.
Just
as
get the nice exit out of here.
Sebastian and A. Jackson. Oof. Sebastian goes down the inside, then round the outside of
There we go.
A. Jackson.
Leclerc's going to go around the outside of his teammate. His teammate ain't going to fight it too much.
Yeah, doesn't fight it. And Leclerc's up to P4. Really good recovery drive from Leclerc. Look how close he is to
Really
4QJ.
good complex there for Leclerc as well. He gained so much through that chicane section.
Yeah, he ended up right behind 4QJ the minute he passed his teammate as well. So really good combination of corners there from TES Leclerc. Got to say, 4QJ is going to feel under pressure, but he just has to hold it as A. Jackson gets a penalty for multiple warnings. That'll be for a corner cut. A little bit of a lock up.
Ryan though, if we open that gap,
Yeah.
Rapid was on it. He got it down to 7 tenths, but I don't know, unless Rapid can do anything about getting into the DRS zone within the next 2 laps, I feel like, especially with Rapid having a penalty, that this is Ryan's race to lose now.
Yep, it definitely is. Leclerc almost hit the back of 4QJ there coming into the little S section before the hairpin, but he's going to have DRS on him now. Jezza's going to have DRS as well, so this may actually catapult Jezza past 4QJ as Leclerc goes down the inside. Give me a better camera angle, Codemasters, there we go. And Leclerc makes it past 4QJ to take P3. Jezza's definitely going to jump him. 4QJ anyway.
Yes, but Leclerc has just given FarQJ the DRS to defend against Jezza.
And he's also going to
May
try and
even
run the
have a
outside.
comeback.
Is he going to make it? Goes round the outside. He's going to have the inside for the corner. Oof. A little bit of a nudge there, but Leclerc holds firm.
That almost gave Jezza an easy overtake there.
Yep. Oh, fuck you. Gets a little bit of a wiggle coming out the corner there.
Not here, surely not here.
No. Definitely
Jezza
not.
doing the smart thing there, backing out. There's no point in risking running too wide and picking up a penalty. See, even that could just kill Jezza right now. Just too far wide on an track extension and pick up a penalty, and then he's in exactly the same boat. Right now, he's got far QJ. If he picks up that penalty, he's got to do it on track.
Well, something's happened to A. Jackson. He's not got a front, or he's lost half of his front wing. So something's happened to the Racing Point driver, and he's fell down to P12, which will be P10 because Tempest and Kimi the Iceman aren't here. So Vapid now 2.3 seconds back from Constant Ryan, as Jezza still on the back of FarQJ, and Leclerc's now pulled out 2.2 seconds to FarQJ behind him. So this is going to give...
FarQJ is going to have a hard time defending there.
This is going to give Jezza the run. He's also
But this is the same thing we just said. Is this the move for Jezza? Does he do it here, or no? He's going to give FarQJ the DRS back at him in a minute.
Yeah, he will indeed. I think FarQJ's tyres are going to be falling off a little bit though. So he may be okay. I think FarQJ's going to have a little bit of a run on Jezza. He is. Jezza's, both of them have the exact same amount of VRS. FarQJ can't quite keep up with Jezza. Sebastian is catching FarQJ really quickly as well. I think FarQJ's softs are actually starting to go off. So this could be
But they're only the same age as Leclerc and Ryan and Vapid.
And
Everyone pitted on the same lap.
well, A. Jackson's in the pits and out and on brand new softs. Oh,
But
Nick
Sebastian, we know, does have more than one corner cut penalty.
I think he does, yes.
In
Yeah,
fact,
he
he
has
has
9
9 seconds worth.
Yep.
So for QJ, it's not worth him putting danger in his car or getting damage. Because I don't see Sebastian pulling out 9 seconds on him in 1 lap, 2 laps.
Well, I think Neatville is starting to feel how terrible the softs are. Oh, as SC Crystal goes really wide coming out the exit of turn 1. This is giving Dylan XV. Dylan XV is actually coming into his own on those hards. He's literally catching SC Crystal and Neatville on those hards. So that could have been a wise
Well, these
choice
two are
from-
also battling as well, which will slow them down.
Oh, Dylan has no penalties either. So he could jump both of these drivers and finish 7th on his debut. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be an
Good.
interesting one.
He's definitely jumping Christo. Christo's got 15 seconds.
Yeah. So, Sebastian's still on the back of FarQJ. Jezza's pulled out a 1.5 seconds, so he's out of the DRS zone. So it has worked out for Jezza.
Woohoo! Big
Oh.
slide for FarQJ.
Yep, Sebastian almost made contact with the back of that Ferrari as well as they were coming out that corner.
Just got to hold it together for 1 lap. I mean, he needs to know in his head, this is where the overall skills of a driver comes in. If
Yeah.
he's well aware of Sebastian's time, it's not really worth pushing and fighting
No.
and risking the damage or sliding and crashing a touch. With 1 lap, if Sebastian came at me, I'd let him go because there's no way he's making 15 seconds in 1 lap.
No. Definitely not. Unless Sebastian had a little bit of a little bit of an incident, but I mean he's on mediums. He's been driving a brilliant race. Oh, FarQJ goes
just
wide.
fucking almost twitched himself off.
Yep. He
They are
literally.
side by side.
Yeah, FarQJ backs out.
FarQJ doing the right thing.
Almost makes
I think
contact.
it's a sensible thing.
Yeah.
It's never good, to feel like you're just giving away a position, but at the same time, in terms of what penalties each driver's got, it's the correct thing to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh.
Jackson does set the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not. Will he be in the top? He will.
Yeah, he will. Tempest and Kimi the Iceman are not going to be counted, so he's going to be P10 and he will get the 1 point for fastest lap. As SC Crystal has just passed Neatville for P7. These two are still fighting, and Dylan XV.
They're touching tyres. They're
Yep.
rubbing each other as they go around. Dylan is right. He's going to get both of these. He's going to get both of them on penalty countback.
Yep, yes, indeed. The two of them are side by side again as Neatville goes up the inside. Oof, slight contact made. As
no,
Dylan
he's not
gets a
now.
penalty.
He's not that well.
Yeah, he will.
Might if he gets. No,
Oh no,
Neatville's on free.
Neatville. Oh,
Neatville's
Dylan
on
goes
free.
round the outside.
He had Christo, but he needs to get Neatville on track now. He's picked up that penalty.
Well, he's just managed. Oh, as SC Crystal gets another penalty.
In the meantime, Constant Ryan takes the victory here.
Leclerc second.
TS Leclerc into second after that horrible start for Leclerc. Vapid takes P3, Jezza P4, FarQJ P5, and well deserved after a great race. And I'm going to say, probably, if not for Leclerc's great recovery, would have been my driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean, just wow. I need to take a screenshot of.
But I think I'm going to have to give my driver of the day to Leclerc for that amazing recovery drive.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree. He was literally at 1 point last.
Dylan was so unlucky there to pick up the 3 seconds on the last lap, which just cost him an extra place.
Dylan, record your race director. Push start, go to race director. If you've got two penalties and then you get the penalty, it counts. But if you only got one penalty and then you get the penalty, screenshot
Yep, you
your
should get
race
3
director.
warnings before your penalty.
Yep, screenshot your race director, record it, and then send it in.
You were very unlucky, Dylan, mate, there.
Really good race though. Yeah, another Constant Ryan. I think Ryan won it before.
No. Constant Ryan's won.
Yeah, he's won it before.
This is the first one to get 2.
Yep, I believe he's won it before anyway. Let's actually just check.
Yeah, because they've had 4 different winners in 4 races. I'm pretty sure it's Ryan, Cab, Vapid, and Leclerc.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was as well.
I'm sure we looked into this earlier.
Yeah, Ryan has won it before. He won round 3, so he's actually won 2 rounds now. He's the first driver to win 2. So there we have it. Constant Ryan does win this race with TS Leclerc with an amazing comeback drive in P2.
Yeah, what a recovery! What a recovery!
He actually gained 2 places as well. Vapid finishes where he started in qualifying in P3, which is still a good race from McLaren driver. Jez on P4 with FarQJ, who thoroughly impressed me today with his racing in P5. Sebastian in P6. Obviously Tempest and Kim and Iceman won't count, so Neatville will get 7th. Dylan will get 8th, SC Crystal will get 9th, and Andrew Jackson will get 10th. So
dramatic stuff though at the end. Changes from the safety car, throwing the race into a new zone at the end there, really.
I need to probably take this off of the stream because it's not letting me.
Are we
getting? Yes, we are. I just need to change the screen over so that I can invite everybody in. So let's move to the championship standings, and then we will get Vapid.
We remember.
Yes, we remember. We remember. Oh no, if it was your third
He's
one.
that keen to come and talk to us, that's what it is. He wants to go, boys, that safety car just saved my race.
Yeah, Dylan, if it was the third warning, then it usually is a penalty, unfortunately. But I mean, you still scored, you were in top 10, so something to be proud of.
Good debut, I'm very unlucky on the last lap, I will say.
Yep, it definitely is a good debut. Alright, James got the screenshots anyway. Right, so the first one is Constant Ryan. I don't know if Ryan.
I've done that one. I've done Ryan.
Okay, Jamie, or where is Leclerc?
I've got Vapid. I think on mine. I'll get Vapid. Why you do, Jamie?
There he is. So there we go. Okay.
Did you do?
Yep, I sent him. Yeah, there's always next week, Dylan. I mean, the 8th place is not too bad. It's still a good result for your first race. Because the guys in here are quick and experienced. So, just waiting on Vapid, I think.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on Vapid. You sent one. You said yeah.
Oh, there he is. Can everyone hear me?
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
I can hear Leclerc.
I can't hear nobody. Apart from you.
Vapid, Ryan, Leclerc, are you there?
Yep, hello.
Yep.
Vapid's there.
Hello there.
That's Leclerc. Ryan, are you there?
Yep.
Yep, he's there.
Yep, we have them all.
Okay, so we have all 3 podium finishers. So we'll obviously start with the race winner, Constant Ryan. I think the first thing I've got to ask you, well, actually, first thing is congrats on the win. You are the first driver this season to get 2 wins. So
Thank you, Nick Veal, for the raid.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're the first driver this season to get 2 wins. So congrats for that one. And obviously congrats on the win. I think the first question I've got to ask you is, how surprised were you when the safety car came out as late as it did?
You kind of never know with this game, to be honest. It's just a bit unpredictable. I was actually kind of disappointed because I kind of want to see how the strategies would have met up at the end, because it would have been interesting. But yeah, it kind of just went my way. It's going to go against me some stage too. It's just luck, really. But yeah, I wasn't too happy at my driving, to be honest. I was very tentative the whole time and nervous, and yeah, this track, there's something about it I just don't like. But yeah, my consistency paid off today. I wasn't at the right pace, because I think Leclerc was the fastest here, to be honest, today. Followed closely by Cam. Them two were very quick, I noticed. But yeah, obviously I'll take it.
Yep, I mean, it was definitely a really, really good drive. Obviously, Vapid was relatively close. We thought it was going to be a mad dash for the last part of the race after the safety car, because most people came in for softs. So it was basically a level playing field for everyone. But obviously, unfortunately for Vapid, he landed the penalty, which kind of played against him. But I mean, you still scored a really good victory, and it was great to watch on track as well. Swayze, have you got anything you want to ask Constant Ryan?
No, just a great drive. Actually, yeah. But it's general question for both Ryan and Vapid, and that is, how did you guys feel when you saw Cam 2 seconds, 3 seconds out in front, and then boom, DNF? That massive. Oh my God, I can win this now.
Sounds really selfish. My first thought was safety car. What tires will go on? But I felt bad. Cam, he was the fastest there, and yeah, and I spun on the formation lap, which didn't help as well.
I actually caught that on stream, but we'll not mention that.
Oh, you can put it in a montage. I don't care. I was laughing to myself when I spun. I was like, "Why I'm so
I've
bad."
done it before. I actually done it coming off the start line.
I was just doing it for the viewers, to be honest. I was just doing it for the fans.
Yeah, just some entertainment.
Yeah. And bought the start.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when Cam crashed. He was so quick. Like, in quality, he was probably about the same pace as me, but in the race, he just took off. And yeah, I felt gutted for him because he is generally a quick driver. But I was going to hope he was going to give Ryan a hard time, so it kind of kept me in the mix. But yeah, I suppose it's just one of those things. I was just hoping for the safety car, if anything, at that point. So,
well, obviously, Ryan, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Brilliant to see, and we will obviously see if you can repeat that feat next week. But we will move on to the person who finished P2, which I believe was Leclerc. And I mean, having a look at the standings, that's second. Well, the first one was round 2, so the second podium basically. I mean, I guess it's that obviously you fell at the back of the grid after there was an accident at the start, which kind of hampered you a little bit. Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was
an accident. I wouldn't say it was an accident.
Yeah,
no.
I wouldn't say it was.
It wasn't an accident.
I wouldn't say it was a complete.
It was a complete brake check. That's what it was.
Well, after that, you managed to climb your way back up. Me and Swayze actually had a disagreement. Swayze thought Jezza was going to let you past. I thought Jezza was going to fight you, but it turned out that you actually got past Jezza without any incident. But I mean, to fight your way back up and end up P2, you must be happy with that, because I mean, you did start what, P4?
Yeah, I started P4.
That shit can happen when you got safety cars on retainer.
As you say, I can't be mad at finishing second, but I am going to be mad because I genuinely feel like I could have challenged for the victory. There's just people that I don't know. I can't. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Well, you know what they say. You just let the team sort everything. You're better off
Yeah,
that way.
exactly.
Well,
Two
I mean-
incidents at the start, which were stupid moves from some drivers. I felt like I was up there on pace-wise with Vapid, Cam, and Ryan, but as Constant Ryan said earlier, that it's racing. You're gonna get races that don't go your way. That was one of them for me today. You just got to brush it off and go again next week.
I mean, if you can brush off a race and you say that doesn't go your way and you finish in second place, that's a bad day that I'd have any bad day.
Well, I mean, it also comes into effect as well that because obviously Vapid's teammate wasn't here and Tempest, who's Constant Ryan's teammate, was, I think he lagged out the race and couldn't get back in.
He lagged out in qualifying.
Yeah, he lagged out in qualifying. So it basically means that the two Alpha Tauris, you and Jezza, did actually finish really well in the points and helped your constructors fight as well. Which obviously you're sitting at the top of. But I mean, it was still a good comeback drive and some really, really good fighting on the way up as well. But Swayze, have you got a question for Leclerc?
Some scary fighting on the way up as well. Let me just add that.
Yep.
Nah, I mean, it must have been, for you, in some ways, a lot of relief when you saw the safety car. No.
Oh yeah, definitely. I knew I had one warning all race, but that's because I got pushed wide at turn 1, lap 1, so got the one warning and I managed to keep one warning for the rest of the race. Safety car came out. I was always going to go on softs. Always going to do the 2-stop. Not too sure. I'm sure we'll find out soon with Vapid, but I'm not too sure what happened to him because his pace at the end just. I think I was like 4.8 seconds off with 3 laps to go, and then I managed to finish within a second and a half. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe his tyres just hit the cliff, but ultimately, me and Jezza are here for the constructors. Obviously, driver's title, everyone wants, but yeah, if we can continue performing the way we are at the moment, we should be on for a good season.
I definitely agree. So, congrats on the P2. Awesome fight back and to land yourself on the podium. I mean, even though you feel like you could have challenged for the win, it's still quite a good feat to finish P2. So, congrats on that one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Like I said, it's racing. It's not going to go your way all the time, but I can't be mad at finishing second after being last on like, lap 1. So
Yep.
I'll take it. Cheers.
So we move to the person who finished P3 and the person who I believe, don't quote me because my maths is always wrong, but I'll have to wait until later, who currently before this round was in the championship lead. I don't know if it will be now, but I'll have to find out later. But Vapid Koot, who finished
Hello.
P3.
Thank you.
First of all, long time no speak. Second of all,
Hiya.
second of all, congrats on P3. I mean, Leclerc's got a point. You were basically mixing it up at the front for most of the race. Then obviously the safety car happened and it kind of threw a spanner in most people's races, but I mean it brought you and Constant Ryan on an I would say an even playing field, because both of you were on the same tyre. You were literally right behind them, but you lost a little bit of time, then brought it back, then lost it again. I mean, was it just the tyres in general, or was it the way the car was, or I mean, what happened?
Bono!
Well,
Sorry.
I was I was just struggling so much with slow speed corners. I was just a track I absolutely despise, so coming into it, I wasn't even looking forward to the race, but I was struggling specifically with slow speed. So when I was catching up through the high speed mid section bit, Ryan would just pull out like another 4 or 5 attempts just through the slow speed alone. So yeah, I just maximised as much as I possibly could. Obviously I'm gutted I didn't get second, but yeah, it's a good result for Ryan and Leclerc. So yeah, we just move on. So yeah, it's a long season ahead. I'll just need to keep my head down and just keep chipping away.
Well, I mean, the one thing you can take away from today is that you and Ryan both have the most podiums so far. You both have 4 each, so I mean, it is a good thing. Obviously, the penalty didn't really help, and with the way the tyres are on this track, it is quite easy to cut and get a penalty. But I mean, it's still a good result at the end of the day. It keeps you in the running, and it's definitely going to be interesting for next week around Japan. But yeah, Swayze, have you got a question for Vash?
Yeah. At the point when the safety car came out, you literally, what, not long pitted 2 laps? It was our assumption that you were planning to go to the end on that set of softs that you were on. At that point, was it always a guarantee, known in your head that, you know, you had the gap, so a fresh set, and then you can make it up under the safety car and still be directly behind him? Or did you ever consider staying out, knowing that with the safety car, that's going to improve your chances of taking the softs that you was already on to the end and try and go for the track position?
Yeah, I would say so. I stayed out longer. I tried when I seen Ryan was doing the 2-stop. I basically stayed out since I knew he was just on raw pace. He was just going to beat me around this track. So I've tried something different to make the 1-stop work to go to the softs, and I was going to make that soft tyre that I'd been able to go to the end. But I knew it would be quite sketchy because I would have had to look after the tyres as well. But I thought it would be worth the risk. But when the safety car came out, that's when I thought I'll decide to pit just because it's a safe pit stop. I had the gap and I would still be where I was. So instead of taking any chances and staying out, I just thought I would just pit for another fresh set of tyres under the safety car and just make it home. So
Yep, sensible decision, I think, in the end, Vapid. Sensible decision.
Thank you.
And another great podium for you.
Thank you.
Yep, definitely. So congrats to Vapid on P3 as well.
I just want to add, like, if this season started off how it has, then this season is going to be absolutely epic.
Yeah.
Because looking at the standings, I don't want to rule it out now, but anyone in that top 5 could still walk away with this championship. So hopefully it carries on and we have an amazing season like we usually do here at SFR.
Yeah,
With
I mean,
a number of great drivers as well. So.
It's definitely going to be close, that's for sure. I think the one thing to note as well as the Drivers' Championship, it's going to be massive battles in the middle of the field as well. Especially to be in the top 10 because some of the drivers are so quick. So, I mean,
what is this? Real F1?
No. It's still going to be. I mean, if you have a look at Sebastian right now is sitting 9th and he's had a podium already. So I mean, I mean, me and Swayze put on this point at the start of the stream. You just never know who's going to end up on the podium. But as for tonight's race, it's been pretty entertaining race for us to watch, and we cannot wait for next week around Japan for round 6. So. I mean, Ryan, Leclerc and Vapid, congrats on P1, 2 and 3. And
Thank you.
We will definitely be tuning in next week to see exactly what happens to everyone. See if the same podium comes out or if it's a different one, but we'll see next week. And obviously, Swayze, thank you for letting me join.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. I mean, I'm looking forward to it already with the battles that we've seen all season and going into Japan next week, which is a track that I personally love. But as we all know, it can throw up some serious conditions sometimes. If it rains there, it's not rain, it's more of a typhoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that apart from that, that's it for from us this week, and we'll catch everyone in round 6 in Japan next Saturday at 8 p.m. So until then, we'll see everybody then. Goodbye.